bullshit? A bullshit?
Yikes! I'm just testing to see if this stuff works. I haven't turned this on in so long that it's a learning curve all over again. And good evening. Look at that. It's Great Pearl. What's up, Great Pearl? Oh my God. Look at that. Just Amber. Said hello. What's up there? Just Amber. There's a guy on here, I know his name is Just Human. And he's kind of clever. But what is new, everybody? I've taken a break. I told you I'd take a break. Pretty much to end that Koberger shit, which clearly hasn't ended, right? He's not filed any case, so I'm not really going to get too involved with it. How have you been? I'm sorry to see you. Carl is going to be so happy. Poor Carl missed me, huh? What up, Heidi? I just wanted to test the system. I haven't, obviously I haven't been around in quite some time. After the I'm guilty, Your Honor, I kind of walked away from the Koberger case, and I've been viewing some of the stuff people have put out there, but it's it is what it is for me. Unless the guy files an appeal, which it's insane he even pled guilty. We all can see that by looking at what we've been shown. I don't know what to say. I do want to say, what's his name though? Not Lucky, I can't remember his name. He used to go in the Dagos. I haven't heard from him in a long time. What the hell is his name? But he insisted the whole time it was corruption. And in fact, I think there's more argument and evidence to show that it was corrupt. And that Koberger never stood a chance in front of that judge. And I said it a long time ago, it's a tragedy that they changed from judge, and shouldn't have sought a change of venue that early. It put her in the lap of Judge Hitler, and that was the end of that case. And it is what it is. And unless Brian appeals it, I don't really have much to say. We live in a very corrupt system. Our system has been corrupted, and the ignorant brainwashed don't want to pay attention to it. They think it's politics, and the people that are in politics sometimes get a little whacked in the head. But again, so do the people in true crime. I mean, there are three branches of government. You're in here talking about true crime, acting like you're not talking about politics, but I don't know how you can make the separation. It is one of the three branches of your federal government, right? The legislative, the judicial, and the executive. You're in here talking about crime. You're watching how these criminal fucking prosecutors and criminal fucking courts and criminal fucking police are doing all of the things they're doing and getting away with it. And that's only because they're enabled from people that are in positions that can enable them, people above them. And, I don't see how the separation between the three branches of government. And when branches of government collude and protect one another and lie, then you end up with a case like Koberger's, right? You end up with a case like Karen Reed. He should be doing what Karen Reed is doing. If you want to know my opinion, that's my opinion about the Koberger case. And unless he does, I have nothing really else. I don't want to, keep pointing out how right, we are, or I was. And I don't need a pat on the back for them to show me their paperwork, to show me what I knew right from the start, that there was no probable cause, that none of the information that they supplied to the public or in court reached the level of even arresting that fucking kid. But he pled guilty. So what are you going to do? Right? I mean, right, wrong, or indifferent, guilty or innocent. He said he's guilty, and so for me, that's the end of that case. Unless and until he appeals it, and he tries to go somewhere with it. I saw Lucy. I saw your video. I saw your little clip there, and you brought up FISA 702. I spent a lot of time researching Comey and the FISA system and the blase. And that's the problem. Everything that was secret here was because everything that was secret is because of the FBI and the federal government's involvement. That's why this case had so many secret fucking hearings and meetings and this and that. It's because the government doesn't want you to know what they're doing right in front of your face, literally. And then they're hiding right in front of your face by sealing it. It's incredible. I can't say whether he's guilty or not. Only he knows that. Even though the case that they present doesn't show him as being guilty, it doesn't mean he didn't get dropped off and walk there. I can't say what Koberger is. He said he did it. You know, all I can say is what I said when I first came to true crime. The only thing I can say is that there never was any evidence to convict or even to support an arrest. I've been saying that since I first got in January 2022. Was it 22 or 23? I'm sorry, 23. That's what brought me to true crime. It's insane what they did to that guy. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, like I said before, I've stressed out over all kinds of different stuff in politics, and this is no different. And again, I'm going to say to you, if you think the judicial system is a separate branch of government or even not a part of government, then there's something mentally wrong with you. You just don't understand the American system that you live in, right? So the legislative, the judicial, and the executive, those are your three branches of government, meaning where Brian Koberger was within part of one branch of government. No, we all know he went south, Lucy. We all know that listen, even if he went east or west, or it wouldn't matter where to me the kid went, right? There's nothing in the original affidavit for probable cause that reached the level of arresting the guy. They lied. They literally lied and made up a story to connect the car to a crime that most likely had absolutely nothing to do with the crime. But it was white, and they claimed they had his DNA off a brass fucking snap that took days to get to a lab, that couldn't have lived on brass for 4 hours. No way. After 4 hours, it would be completely obliterated. Yet, that's the story they told the public. That's the story they brought to the grand jury, and they lied. They've been lying the whole time. So I forget who he is. He's on Dago's channel, but he was telling me the whole time, you know, he's always arguing it was corrupt, it was a setup, blah, blah, blah. And I said, you know, I wouldn't go that far until I saw the proof. The proof shows that he was right. His gut feeling and my gut feeling was always, they don't have a case on this kid. He shouldn't even be in court, let alone be in jail, let alone being asked, did you commit this crime? Right. I mean, this is where Ann's lawyering, folks. Ann's lawyering was completely insufficient in a case of this magnitude. Okay? Hey, what's up, 12? She did not. She tried, but you can't go to a case like this and try. You got to go to a case like this and be qualified and smarter than your opponent, or you get buried. And this woman's got to work with these people the rest of her life. I mentioned that during the course of the journey everybody took on that case. It's kind of hard to go against the people you got to work with every day. And that, you know, I heard that right from a lawyer, told me that right to my face. And it is what it is. What's up, WB? And Heidi and Carl. Carl's back. Look at Carl. Did you ever marry that girl you were chasing around in here, Carl? So, you know, when it comes to that case, folks, until he appeals, if he does appeal, I don't know. It's sad. And what can we all do? Is there anything we can get together and do? I've asked that a million times over the time I'd spent streaming, and nobody really wants to do anything. I mean, that case is corrupt from the floor up. There's no doubt about it. And that goes with almost every single case that you see. Where anytime they mention sealed evidence, corruption, at least you should start looking towards corruption. You should consider it. And then until this Kash Patel cleans out that FBI, what a bunch of criminal backdoor motherfuckers work there. Who do these people think they are? Okay? It's kind of fucked up, man. Who do these fucking agents think they are? I hope they listen to my streams, you ignorant cocksuckers. How dare you do the things you're doing to an American citizen? Guilty or innocent doesn't even matter to me. The fact that they pull this bullshit and they go into databases they shouldn't be to derive information they shouldn't have access to without warrants, without probable cause. And then they hide behind sealed. I kind of like what you put out there today, Lucy. I commented and I made a couple of comments. It's that's the core of the issue, is that not whether Brian is guilty or not. The tragedy of these three young women and young man being murdered is an inevitable outcome of the corruption throughout this country. And it's all over the fucking place. Doesn't matter if you're a red state or a blue state. It's all over the place. It's just disgusting. I mean, listen, I think, I honestly think that we're so much better off with the orange-haired guy in charge than any other time in history. We at least have somebody that's going to reassert the law, not going to let governors of a state tell the federal government what they can do and what they can't do. Money shouldn't matter. I don't care how much you're worth or how much you got to spend. If you did it, you did it. You should be fucked, right? You should be taken out back and fucked with a fucking, I don't know, a fucking knitting needle or something. It's terrible how fucking corrupt the system is. And so many people are so ignorant to it. And as long as they get the right guy, that's all that matters. Well, if you go about it the wrong way, how can you be sure you got the right guy? And if you got the right guy, you shouldn't have had to go about it the wrong fucking way. Whether it be Brian Kohlberger or Trump, doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter one bit. If you're going to get somebody, you're going to accuse somebody of something, then you should have solid documented fact to make the accusation viable. You still could be wrong. But in this case, there was no probable cause to arrest Brian Kohlberger. There never was. Just a couple of cops making up a fucking story about a car. That's it. And probable cause requires that you, the accused, likely committed the crime. That's the whole point of probable cause. Okay? Yeah, his mom knew he lied. That Christopher Wray, too. I'm going to say there's a difference this time with Trump than the last time. This time, Trump he's got a little bit more knowledge about what he needs to do to make things work. And every single turn, the Democrats take him to court. But every single thing he's trying to do is fix the country. And if you're a Democrat, you probably shouldn't be in my stream. Get the fuck out of here. You support the KKK. You support the fucking racist. You support the fascist. It's you people shooting our side. You don't see our side taking fucking shots. There was a senator playing fucking baseball when one of you wackadoodles took a fucking shot and almost killed him. People don't remember that. All the fucking time these Democrats are shooting at us. And then they want gun control so they could get our guns away from us. It's fucking crazy, man. It isn't our side that's pulling the trigger on their politicians or on their fucking, what do you call that, social, like Charlie Kirk. The fuck they got to kill that kid for? Listen, it's crazy. The side that says we're the racist, the side that says we're the fucking danger, is the side that is all of that. And it's never fucking changed. I challenge people to go listen to what the people in the black community are now saying. Holy fuck, are they mad? They hate Democrats now, as they should. They finally start to wake up. How do you charge an ex-president with 94 felonies? 94 felonies that were actually not felonies at all. How about you go to a legislative body that makes law? My state, New York, this piece of shit, communist fucking shithole, gives a 24-hour extension, okay, to the statute of limitations to charge Trump with a crime that was 10 years beyond the statute of limitations. They opened up a 24-hour window just to charge one citizen. Can you imagine? And Democrats don't even fucking flinch. They think that's okay. You can't change the fucking laws to go after a sitting individual. That is not what America is. We're not fucking Saudi Arabia or China or currently Britain, which, just so you know, the British have had more control of this country since after our wars than any of us are willing to understand. People are all fearful of Israel. It's not Israel. Israel's a colony of Britain. Even me, I'm kind of shocked with some of the data that I've come collected since I walked away from true crime. It's crazy, man. This Epstein stuff, it's just a joke. Epstein gave 89% of his donations to Democrats after they knew he was a convicted pedophile and a sex trafficker. I wouldn't let you buy me a fucking air to save me in my last breath with that kind of bullshit you're doing to children or underage women. There's nothing you could do to help me. I'd rather die than let someone like you touch me. It's just the whole country, unfortunately, folks, all of your big cities, when they say red states get more welfare than blue states, well, that's because all the welfare is concentrated in the blue. Like when they say crime, there's more crime in Kentucky than there is in, in the democratically controlled cities in these other states. That's where the crime is. It's always in the democratic zones. But we're the fascists. It's my fault. Guys like me. They go out there, like, just so you know, I'm happily retired now. On my 60th birthday, I said, no more. I'm done. It's not worth it. I mean, how much money is enough? I see the world that way. A lot of people don't. A lot of people are more. And that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. Guys like Elon Musk, he's a great example. And I don't really think he does it for the money, to be very honest with you. So, it's a tragedy how politics have overwhelmed the judicial, because politics are part of the legislative. The legislative makes the law, right? It's way out of fucking control. And you got a fucking bull in a China house with Trump. He don't give a fuck, as he shouldn't give a fuck. You can't give fucking a safe immigration status to an illegal crosser of the border. That's federal. The protection of the borders is national security. You can't say I'm Chicago, Illinois, and we're a sanctuary city. My balls. Sanctuary your own ass, bro. Kick these people the fuck out of here. Before when Trump left office, there were 17.2 million people on SNAP. Okay? When Biden got in, that number jumped up to 42 million people on SNAP. And you could try to blame COVID. It's a bunch of bullshit. There's at least 5 million illegal immigrants that collect SNAP. At least 5 million. And I don't want to begrudge these people an opportunity to live. But go live on your own fucking dime in your own fucking country. And if your government's no good, then kick it the fuck out. Right? I love what he's doing to Venezuela. I love what he's doing to the drug dealers. We've had a war on drugs since I was in high school, since the Ronald Reagan period. We've had a war on drugs, and I've never seen my military go to war on drugs. And all of my life, there's never been a military involvement. Oh, the Coast Guard. But never has there been a war declared against fucking narco-terrorists like there is now. Okay? Now Trump is blowing their asses up. I think what he should do is he should get some fucking crop fucking dusters and go hit all these fucking crops with Roundup. Go fuck yourself. And just bathe all of these areas with Roundup. That'd take a fucking hit on them people. Now what? I don't even know how many of you know the cartels crossed the fucking border in Texas to attack one of our military bases, Fort Bliss. We whacked the living shit out of them. So, I don't know. I'm glad we're taking the country back and he's doing what he's doing. I'm glad I don't have to raise children, but goddamn, I don't want people's children being taught about gender. I want people to understand. And there's a new book coming out from Supreme Court Justice Gorsuch. And it's going to be he says the biggest threat to the country. And anybody that doesn't agree with this, you need to get out of my stream too, even though there's only 10 of you in here. But civics, we're not taught civics. They no longer teach civics. People have no idea. Like one of the girls I hang with was, I watch Gunsmoke. It's like, why do you watch that? I go, because it makes me appreciate what I have now. I mean, imagine being on a fucking horse and you got to go from New York to fucking Florida. You know how long that would take you on a fucking horse? You got to shit outside. You got to piss outside. You got to drink water off the fucking ground. You got to hunt for your own food. I mean, it's a good show, But it's like, don't people understand it wasn't that fucking long ago, man? And here we are. I'm sitting here in New York talking to people that could be, for fuck's sakes, anywhere in the globe, and we can communicate. I did put a link out here. Let me see here. If anybody wants to jump up here. If not, that's fine too. But it's, yeah, I mean, enough is enough with all of the chaos. The Koberger case is just another micro fucking cosm of exactly what's happening around the country. The criminals are being protected at the cost of an American citizen. And then you know, all of these streamers, I don't like to really per se entertain people. I mean, I'm not out here to try to make any money. And so I'm not going to put up streams to entertain you, to keep you occupied, to get your clicks, to get your number count in my stream, so that you know, that I get paid on fucking every month. I just am not in that. I'm not from that cloth. Okay, I just never really have. What do I got? 2,760 subscribers, which is awesome. When I did politics, I had about the same amount. Even though on Twitter I had, God, I don't remember, I had 28,000 when it was Twitter. And then they banned me. And they banned me for a Nikola Tesla fucking thread. What a crazy fucking world, those crazy corporations. That's really what I want to get back to focus on. Is how we're being stomped into the dirt with corporations and ain't nobody saying a fucking thing about it. Like, that's one thing I disagree with Trump on. He's letting all these corporations come into our country to invest and put up all these fucking factories and give everyone a job. Well, that's not freedom. Freedom is not being stuck at a fucking 9-to-5 job in a corporation. Freedom isn't all my dump companies, all of my fucking garbage companies being bought up by places like Casella and Waste Management and blowing all the fucking independents out of the water. Now, the only thing you could be sure of is that every quarter the prices of your product are going to go up to support that corporation's need to make profits and get more investment. I mean, I don't know how Americans need, all of us need another course in civics. If you've never had one, you need to take one. And if you think you know, you need to go back and do it again. Because we're really being fucked by corporations. Everything to them is the race to the dollar. Or at least when you have independent providers of services, whether they're local or they're from the next town or city over, as long as they're invested individuals that own businesses, you, me, and your neighbors and your friends, that's freedom. Freedom doesn't come in the can of fucking corporate ownership. That's you might as well be in a fucking communist country. So that's one issue I have with Trump, is that I understand corporations need to exist, but I think that the country's becoming too corporatized to the point that our freedom is being fucking taken away from us. You can't even open up your fucking phone without somebody hitting you up with something. Your email's constantly being fucking drowned out. You go to Facebook, Google colludes with Facebook and all the other fucking places so they know what you're searching for. If you're looking for a washing machine, you're fucking banned. And I just really would rather not. I don't think these people should have the right to use my personal information. Yeah, I really don't bother much with emails either, Liz, but you know, I do, because my business, even though I retired, I still have to close everything out. I have to transfer the DBA, I have to transfer the phone number. There's a bunch of things I have to do, minor things. And I'm in no hurry to do it because this is the off season, whether I was in full ownership now or not. So, yeah, and you know, I'm helping another independent continue the business. Actually, it was my workers. So, you know, could I have tried to sell this company? Sure. I could have got a lot of money for it. But when's enough? When is money more important than fucking giving someone else a hand up? The guy put roofs on for me for fucking years. He's still going to do it. I'm going to retire. So why not make a deal for him to take the company over? And we need more of that in this fucking world. You know, we help each other. And it's almost like an unthought fucking thing, or undone. So I don't even know. How does this? Oh, I'm over here. There could be somebody backstage I wouldn't even know. Hang on now. There's comments. 107 comments. So I wouldn't even know if somebody had There, I can see now. I think I'm getting a lot of my. I got to go to Twitter. See, I think I got a lot more people at Twitter than I have over here on YouTube. Let me look. Yeah. Oh my God, ain't no way. Nope. Let's see here. I'm gonna put a link in here. You guys can actually join fucking StreamYard and come in through there on Twitter. There's 50 people on Twitter. But yeah, I want to. I don't know. There's been really, seems to me there's no learning curve. No one, for some there is, but for the vast majority of people, I think this is just entertainment. And you know, I don't think people can even appreciate the entertainment you're able to get online today, and the time you have to do that is because of the modern world. I mean, it's amazing, an amazing system that we live in when it comes to transportation, communication, entertainment, food. It's quite fucking amazing. We all kind of take it for granted, and you know, that's fine. We could take things for granted. I'm not going to tell people how to live, but in the end, these people that are at the top are the ones that are taking advantage of it. And I think it's fucking funny. They want to keep trying to accuse Trump of being connected to Jeffrey Epstein, when Trump was the only person, when approached to give a deposition about Epstein, actually fucking did it. Trump, you know, there was something released. Trump is the dog that hasn't barked. And the reason what Epstein is really saying is he's the one that don't cooperate. He don't get involved. That's what Epstein is saying. He's not saying anything to impugn Trump. He's just pointing out Trump wouldn't have nothing to do with him, which is true. Trump threw that motherfucker out of Mar-a-Lago, banned him long time ago, back in the early 2000s. You know, now you're seeing all these Democrats that got all this campaign finance. That's why they've been screaming over and over and over again, Trump is in the papers, Trump is in the papers. The whole fucking reason for doing that, was to wear people out on the Epstein files so people don't pay attention to the Epstein files. Okay? Because there's no new news connecting Trump. And there won't be. There just won't be. Because he's not a part of that fucking lifestyle of being a pedophile. He's not a part of the criminal fucking creed. And so you're not going to get Trump caught up in that fucking nonsense. There you go, Twizzle Stick. I got 2 lives going at once. I don't know what you mean by that. I have StreamYard going over at 63 views on X. I got about 10 or something over here on YouTube. How trustworthy? But he said we need to move over. I don't know what you're talking about. How do I got 2? I'm at one that says I got 14 people in here. I don't know how I could have 2 live streams. Yeah, whatever. Pet my peeves. What up? Come on up here, Twizzle Stick. He won't. He's got some. I don't even know what his excuse could possibly be now. But he's doing something, even though he's generally doing nothing. Fucking Twizzle Stick. The majority are in the other. What link did you post above? Let's see here. Please join the chat. That link? What up, Gray?
Hey, who's up here with me? Is Carl up here?
There's no one up here. But now this
Oh,
shows,
okay.
yeah, no one up here.
Um,
What it with you?
I'm not nothing. There's a new YouTube feature where when you strike up a live now, it also streams you in vertical form. So
Yeah,
that's
I
why
see that. I
people,
seen that.
yeah, so that's why people are trying to get whoever's in the vertical form over here because
I
there's
see it over
2.
there.
Okay.
Yeah, I see. I can actually pull the screen up and see both vertical, and I don't know how to stop it. I
I don't
don't
think
know.
you can, but if you could tell the people to come over here because there's more people in this chat. That way we're all
Yeah,
together.
I'm not seeing this chat's only showing. Hang on, StreamYard. I don't know. StreamYard doesn't show me, but YouTube tells me I have 10 people watching.
I think you have more than that.
Carl Ferguson says, "Go here. Let me open this in a new tab. Hang on. I'm going to open up that one. Maybe I should close this tab. Is that what he's trying to tell me?
I don't
Why?
know. He
Yeah,
should
there's
take the
22
link.
people. All right, there. I closed the other one. All right, I got you. I
It's so
sent you
nice
on
to
a.
hear you, though. We're glad you're back. You made a
Well, I
lot of
don't know
people
that I'm
happy
back. I
tonight.
just
Well,
wanted to.
a check-in, if you will.
Yeah. What's up, Twiz? He's in there too.
Hi,
He ain't got
Twiz.
the balls to click that. Morningstar, you should come up here too, Luce. You had some good observations when you connected the FBI's involvement to the Koberger case. That should have been the first clue that this case was fucking yo-yo. What up there, Dago? So anybody that wants, here we go. Let's see. We have another person on stage. There you go, Dago.
What is up, my
Life, man, living a great life.
Hey, Dago.
missed you?
Yeah.
I did.
Well, there you go. How
Big
are things
time.
with you?
I'm good. I'm good. Now that I see you're good.
Dude, I'm always nothing but good, really.
I know that, but I still ain't seen you in so long. I worry about you. You know how I am.
Life is awesome.
Good. I'm glad to hear
You
that.
have my personal number. You worry about me. You don't even call.
Twice I've called you. You didn't answer. So
Your answer hurts, bro. I never saw a missed call from Dago.
It doesn't hurt. It feels
Hey,
good tonight.
His
real
ass
quick.
feels good. He's got lotion.
What's up, Gray? Good to see you, hon.
Hey, I was just gonna say, hey, Dago, it's good to see you.
Oh,
I really
are you
only came up to because I wasn't sure if Sarge knew about the new feature with Vertical. So I'm gonna let you guys chit chat, and I'm gonna drop.
Well, it's
But
wonderful to
it's
see you, hon. I hope you're doing well too.
you too. You too. It's nice to see both of you. All
Yes.
right,
Nice. Thanks for coming in,
I'll
Greg.
be in. I'll be in chat. Bye.
So what's up with you, Dago? You still streaming the burger?
I sure am. Sure am.
Burger.
It is-
Any word on an appeal? Has he filed any documents to appeal?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
If if ever, right?
If it ever happens, I don't know.
Yeah,
But
it's
there's
kinda
still
whack.
we're still looking at all the bullshit within the investigation and talking about that. So there's tons of it. There's a no. We can probably talk about it for the next 20 years. It is what it is. So, and I
Yeah,
know you stepped back because there wasn't enough for you.
No, all it's doing is reconfirming those of us that said the case was it was a bad case. It was bullshit. They lied, they misrepresented themselves,
Hey, Carl.
and yet he pled guilty to all of that. I don't even know. If I was his father, I'd ask for 2 minutes in a fucking room with him. I'd slap the shit out of him for pleading guilty. Even if he did it, the kid could have won.
Yep.
Right.
I get it.
I would have filed motions to get rid of Hitler. The biggest mistake that woman made was asking for a change of venue. She should have waited.
Yeah.
The judge at least paid attention.
Yeah, I do agree with that one. And he realized the bullshit. He said it in that I think I can't remember the date, but it was a May hearing where she said to him, "Your Honor, you have no idea how bad this is." And he said, "Yes, Miss Taylor, I do, and I feel for you." And that was like right there. That told you right there. He knows.
Well, he said numerous times it's if he's guilty.
Yeah,
right. And he was trying to hold the line on what was legal and what wasn't. And he did an attempt to understand what he didn't understand when it came to phones and
and then
DNA. He didn't. He admitted it. But Hitler, when Hitler came out and said, "Well, your alternative suspects don't have a white car,"
that was it for me right there with him. I agree with you.
If I was the attorney, I'd have lost my mind. Yeah. I'd have said, "Your mother doesn't have a fat ass. What's that got to do with this?"
That wasn't his place to say that. I said that 100,000 times at this point, but that proved who he was in this case.
Listen, I gave the guy the benefit of the doubt when he was making rulings on different motions. I thought he was trying to be fair.
You did.
But then he turned into this agenda fucking driven guy. And all he wanted to do was clear this fucking case off his desk.
And he had in my opinion, Sarge had his mind made up the day he walked into that courtroom. That's my opinion, of course, but I tried to think in the direction you were thinking because I remember you saying that he's got to do this, Dago. He's got to follow the rules.
There are things he has to do.
You know, and he just found a way around it. In my opinion, it's just sickening to me.
Well, it's not that he found his way around it. What he did was when motions that were being filed and arguments were being presented, he was denying them.
Yeah.
And that happened in the last several weeks where the alternative suspects, he wouldn't allow any of that.
Nothing.
And
he denied every bit of it.
Brian's biggest appeal is that there were 3 other male DNAs on the sheath.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
2 or 3, at least 2, but I think there were 3.
I think there was 2, and they refused to look into it.
Well, no, my argument is that DNA is in a location consistent with somebody that was involved in the crime.
Right.
And
Right.
therefore, you can't charge Brian with a quadruple homicide because you don't know if, first of all, which one of these people actually wielded the knife.
Yeah.
The one with blood on it would be most likely.
There you go.
Right?
There
His
you go.
transfer DNA, again, that was on a brass button snap. You did see that, right?
Yeah.
Well, then that DNA couldn't be viable
That's
under
right.
any circumstances. So, yeah, the whole case is a fucking joke. It's over. And it'd be nice if his parents came out and spoke. But, you know, out of respect for the dead, they're probably keeping their mouth shut.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know. I still, and I know I'm probably reaching for every straw that's out there. I still have an expectation as to something within the next 2 years that possibly could happen. So we'll see. We will see. And if it does, it does. If it doesn't, this is going to go down in history as the biggest, most mysterious, ignorant case I've ever seen. Any of us have, in my opinion.
I don't think it will under the general population's moved past this. It's over. And so, and that really is a catch-22. There's little that can be done from the public, but the outrage from the public is generally it's online.
Yeah.
And although online matters, a lot of people just skim past it. And the reason why I stopped getting involved with it was there was not going to be anything released that was going to contradict my original point, which was there is no evidence against Brian Kohlberger. It's all supposition and stories.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Yep.
And
And there was nothing that was going to come out to contradict that. I agree with you.
And the best thing that came out was that there was more DNA in that knife sheath than his, as you and I said in a stream that I got ripped apart for by Jules of all whatever the fuck.
I remember. Yep.
I was dead right then and proven dead right.
Yes, sir.
Because the documents that I showed that came from the fucking state were ones that pointed out inside the sheath, on the sheath, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah,
Right.
I'm not cool with the blatant lies. I never was. I never was cool with any of the lies, Lucy. And
they are blatant lies too, Sarge. Lots and lots of them.
Of course they are. She was trying to convey that. I watched a little clip that Lucy put out there.
Uh-huh.
And Ann was trying to convey that to Hitler. He wanted to have none of it.
Right.
And you know, you can't deny these people the idea to put up alternative suspects when you've got physical evidence, even though they're unidentified. The power of the evidence is blood. You got DNA under one of the victim's nails. Whether you can identify that person or not, the power of that evidence is location of the sample.
Right.
Right. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he doesn't appeal. It is what it is. You know, you're going to have to think in your mind. He did it.
What else there's nothing else we can do at that point if it never happens. I mean,
no, I think a whole bunch of us should start writing the FBI, Cash Patel. Flood that motherfucker with what happened in this case.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Cash Patel would look into it.
I would
the
hope
corruption
so.
they're finding in the FBI. I don't know if you don't watch politics, but the corruption they're finding within the FBI and the DOJ officials.
No. I watch it. I just don't talk about it. I know what's going on over there. It's crazy. Yeah.
It's beyond crazy. And they were doing the same thing.
Yes.
Like they hit all the data that connected the Biden family to money laundering.
Yep.
They hit it. Told the world, nah, that's fake news. That's Russian disinformation. It's insane with our government system. But you know, again, I can't separate this case from the government because the FBI is involved, and the judiciary is a part of our government.
Yes, sir.
Judicial, executive, and legislative. Those are our three branches of government. So if you're in true crime and you're hashing things out in true crime, you're talking about government. It's unavoidable. So
I can agree, sir. I can agree.
Love letters to the FBI, says Seahawks fan. No, said Lucy. And then we got Seahawks fan. What up there, Seahawk?
Yep.
Well,
crazy situation. I don't, and I hope. Well, I'll say this: I don't know, but I hope we never see another case like this ever, because this is just it's so much. It is so much.
Well, a good development today. There were two people in the Trump administration that didn't appear to Congress when they were subpoenaed.
Uh-huh.
And the Clintons today refused to show up.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they
Wonder
can
why.
face the same jail time that Steve Bannon and another guy faced for
Yep.
not appearing to a
Good.
congressional subpoena.
Good. I'm tired
Yeah.
of watching people get away with shit because they think that they're better than everybody because of their titles and offices they've held, and that's just enough. It's
Right.
enough of that.
Look at this. You know, you got a prosecutor in a case that says we don't have any evidence against the guy. Then why is he there?
That's it. Thank you.
If I was a judge, I'd have got off and beat him with a gavel.
Well, they were friends, in my opinion, Sarge.
It wouldn't matter. You're my friend. You're going to say that in open court. I'm going to
Right.
throw the gavel at you.
Right.
Get the fuck
I
out
got
of my
you.
courtroom.
Yeah, because it makes him look like a fool too. 100%.
What kind of a simpleton of a friend do you have? What does that make you if not another simpleton?
Yes.
Right? Birds of a feather. There you go.
Yeah. Birds of a feather. I was just going to say that. 100%.
Fuck, man.
It's a damn mess, and it's going to be nothing but a mess. One of these days, maybe. I've been saying that for a while now. Maybe one of these days somebody will step forward and say, hey, this is what really happened. And at that point, though, what are the odds that they can prove all that stuff? You know what I mean?
Wow.
We'll
I
see.
suspect, and I haven't really watched closely, just ancillary every now and then, but I suspect that there hasn't been anything other than the knife sheath DNA that's been shown to be provable. If you want a piece of solid evidence, that would be the only one. And even that's questionable. But if you accept that as being real, that's the only thing they ever had.
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't even trust that fully, Sarge.
How can you when everything else is made up?
That's it right there. Yeah.
We said that for the 2.5 whatever length of time it was. We rolled with it
Almost 3 years. Yeah. And in a chain of custody with all of that, 100%.
Right. And all of that's coming to be shown to be that those points that we were picking at were worth picking at.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And it's come out over the past 6 months. All these people that came at us and went for our throats and said, oh, you guys are insane. You're crazy. You're causing trouble. You're this, you're that. Oh, well, okay. We were right. So move on.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons I tried to stay away from it. I don't want to keep repeating how right I am. I don't need the affirmation or to pat myself on the back. When I first came in, I could see the case was just wrong. It was just a lie. It was a story. And
yeah,
I never would have let. That's her biggest mistake was 6 months, waiting 6 months for a probable cause hearing.
Yep.
She should never have allowed that. She should have been immediately. My client shouldn't spend another minute in jail, Your Honor.
I agree. I do agree with that. Yeah.
He's an American citizen. He's an outstanding citizen. I would have got a bullhorn and screamed that in the courtroom.
Yes.
Meanwhile, that little fucking Santa Crack Claus motherfucker, Bill, what's his last name there? Thompson?
Yeah.
Is scheming behind the scenes to get a secret indictment into which the information he brought to the indictment is unverifiable. They can't duplicate it, and it's a lie.
And he's a pussy. Okay. It came out not too long ago. Steve was doing an interview with Chris McDonough and said that he called Thompson basically a pussy and a weakling and all this, and said he was weak, and said that he got down on his hands and knees and begged them for that plea agreement, which I think we all knew. Okay. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Bill Thompson is a joke. That's the man that should be sitting in prison, in my opinion.
But he did accomplish what the criminals needed to accomplish.
Right.
He got a conviction, and he got this whole case out of the news. It's over. It's yesterday's news now. And that was his goal, and that's what he achieved. So it's funny. Like even what happened, something happened in Congress the other day. One of the women on the Intelligence Committee was talking to Jeffrey Epstein during a hearing.
Yeah.
And asking his questions that he was texting her. And when they signed the bill for Trump to release the documents, they gave that woman a pass. They gave her an exception so she can't help to be a count or questioned about that or lose her committee seat. And it's this piece of shit Democrat. That's what I mean. The whole system is corrupt. Both sides of the aisle are corrupt. That's why sometimes it's frustrating talking about it.
Yeah, it is beyond frustrating. I agree with that.
I don't know.
Absolutely. And there's no hope of it changing anytime soon until it is recognized for what it is. So good to see.
Yeah, and it's I think I'll tell you what, there's a lot of black streamers out here now.
Yeah.
And these people are no joke, man. They got no qualms about pointing where the corruption is and how they've been lied to and how
Yeah.
A lot of them are just realizing, do you know why the Republican Party was formed?
No, go for it. Explain that.
Does anybody in the chat room know why the Republican Party came into existence at all? There's only one reason it came into existence. It was an anti-slavery party. Imagine that. And Americans don't know that.
I did not know that. The only thing I knew was that George Washington, our first president, stated when he was the president of the United States, said that if and when people divide this country into different sectors and so on and so forth, that is going to be what destroys this country. And well, here we are. So,
well, the whole reason that the Republican Party was formed, it was in opposition to slavery. Period. End of story. Right. And somehow we got labeled as the racists.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely crazy, man.
It is. It is.
And now hopefully we got. This guy's only been there, 10 months?
Yeah, yeah.
He's got 8 peace deals in countries around the globe that we're fighting.
Mm-hmm.
That's more peace deals than I think any one president's ever. I think the last 10 presidents combined didn't get that many peace deals.
Sure.
So he ended 8 wars. Now he's got Nigeria telling them to stop killing Christians. They're shitting bricks over there in the government buildings. They're stopping it now. They're putting up their own army to go against the Islamist people that are killing the Christians.
Yes, that's true.
Right. Look at Venezuela. He's got that guy shitting fucking bricks.
Yes,
probably bricks of cocaine.
Yes,
he's shitting bricks down there. Right. And what does the Democrats do? They sue him to stop him from taking out those boats full of drugs.
Right.
How many people have you killed? Whatever. He said that the other day. He goes, "Are you going to declare war?" He goes, "Why am I going to declare war?" They go, "Well, what are you going to do?" He goes, "Just keep killing them." And people, what else is he supposed to do? It's a war on drugs. Reagan declared it. So fuck it. Right?
Yep.
And he's the one that outed Prince Andrew. Did you know that?
Yes, I do.
He's the one that said with Jeffrey Epstein, go ask Prince Andrew what goes on that island.
And he's been stripped of his royalty rights. He's living in some little shack somewhere out there in the corner. He has nothing now.
Well, what's funny is aside from the Clintons, because the Clintons the 26 trips have been public for a long time, right?
Right.
This I want people to pay attention to the character of Trump. He knows every fucking name in that document. And he could have been spouting out about those people for years.
Mm-hmm.
And he never said a word about anybody, even though the exact people that are in that document have been claiming he was involved with Epstein.
Right.
He let everybody fucking talk. And he kept his mouth shut. Now you find Hakeem Jeffries in it. You find Chuck Schumer in it, right? Mm-hmm. You find all these people in it that were accusing Trump of being involved with Jeffrey Epstein.
Right.
And Trump doesn't mention their name until their names became public.
Exactly.
That takes a lot of character to hold back and not make the fight,
That I agree with. Yes, sir. I do agree. Because he could have spit that. He could have spit that long time ago, and he didn't. He let them do what they were doing, and then now at this point, here we are.
And I think that speaks a lot to the individual. That's I wouldn't have the capacity to do that.
No, me either.
I'd grab the microphone and run you into the dirt.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Because I would have been. I know you're going to come at me, so I'm going to come at you first, 100%. Pete Hegseth is a member. Oh, that figures. Right,
sure.
Doug Wilson, that's another psycho.
Trump was never on that island, ever. Trump was never on the island, ever. As a matter of fact, that island wasn't even owned until after Trump kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago and then put a deposition on the table that was used in prosecuting Epstein.
That's what
Something a lot of people don't know. He is absolutely innocent, just like he was innocent of the 94 charges they brought against him.
That's what my understanding was as well. I'm not standing up for him because I'm not a fan of his, but you are. Facts are facts. So
yeah, you don't have to like the guy personally,
right?
And hey, Mama Bear.
Oh,
but I honestly think actions speak louder than words.
Oh yeah,
right. And I don't know anybody that would sit back when Chuck Schumer's saying he's in Epstein files, he's holding to protect himself. And meanwhile, Chuck Schumer's taking money from Epstein.
Sure.
Right? To get elected?
Yep.
And you don't say anything. You know that, and you don't say anything about it?
Of course not, because he probably didn't think it would ever come to that point.
No, what I'm saying is Trump knew about it long before anybody started saying he was there.
Yeah. No, I agree.
He knew about it in his first term. It's Trump that arrested Epstein. People forget that. Who arrested Epstein? 2019, the Trump administration.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, man, it's fucking awesome. But it's a shame that so many people, like he got blamed by a lot of people, even though it's untrue, for Snap that was stopped.
Yes.
But he had nothing to do with stopping Snap.
Now, that was all, from my understanding, that was all part of the government shutdown that he had no control over at that point.
He had no control.
Right.
But even worse, Dago, the 13 times the government was on the verge of shutting down, that exact bill to give a year continuance, the exact bill 13 times was voted yes by Democrats and Republicans.
Right.
They never not voted for the government to stay open. And so the exact same language and the exact same bill on the 14th time when he's president, the Democrats refused to vote for it.
There you go.
That's why the government shut down. So you had 52 Republicans, and they had, I got to give respect to your senator in Ohio there. Who's that big?
Oh, senator or governor?
No, he's that big guy.
Okay, yeah.
He wears like hoodies and shorts and.
Yes, I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name. I was thinking of.
Is he in Ohio or no? He's a Pennsylvania senator. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay then.
And he covers the district where Trump was shot.
Gotcha.
And he just had another heart issue. But he was one Democrat came out and says, no, this government needs to be reopened. There's absolutely no reason not to reopen it.
Right.
Fetterman. Yeah. You got to give Fetterman a handshake because Fetterman did what was right because that's what he's elected to do.
Sure.
We need guys like that all
there
over.
There are some real deal politicians out there that are there for the right reason. They're far and few in between, in my opinion, but they're there.
People are now in here saying that there's another stream with more people. Well, if they can all hear us, I don't know.
It's because of the new bullshit. I went through a couple of days of this too with the.
How do you fix it?
You have to shut it off before you go live. I'll have to explain it to you.
All right. Yeah. After. All right.
Yeah, I'll show you another time because it's stupid. It took me a couple of days to get it right. They're adding trying to make.
We got 80 people over at X that are watching.
Yeah. Yeah.
I always pulled a good number at X. A lot of people over there know me long term, many years, you know. But so the vertical stream, we appreciate pointing that out, Carl.
Yeah. You got to start it at the very beginning when you go to set up the live. You have to turn it off and then leave it off because it's ridiculous. 2 days. 2 days. I had 4 streams going. I had no idea. So
the one thing that gives me the ability to respect Fetterman is that he's just not singing to the base and he's just not singing to the population.
Right.
He put his words where his feet were. He stepped forward and I'm voting to open this government because that's what I'm elected to do.
Sure.
Is to maintain the government for the people, regardless of who they voted for.
Right.
Yeah, it's my name on X, Candace, is I'll give you a link. Copy. Oh shit. I clicked and then it just changed. It's MS Spygate. But I'll do it again here. There you go. Whoever asked. Paste. Maybe YouTube should be smart enough to put them in the same chat. Well, yeah, I don't know how anybody
you would think.
Arguing that they're smart over there. Let me go back in here.
We know that that's not a fact.
Hang on, I think my volume turned on. No, there it's off. Okay. So Dago, what have you seen that's been the most shocking recently when it comes to your Koberger stuff?
Oh, more lies that have been exposed from your 2 favorite surviving roommates, mostly Dylan Mortensen. Just tonight, I was on another panel with Bertie over there, and we were talking about the fact that she slipped up in one of her new interviews and threw the word Homeland Security out there. So, interestingly enough, there's a lot of this stuff that's come out in these interviews recently.
Yeah, but the Department of Homeland Security, that's an interesting statement. They were there in Idaho, in Moscow,
yes,
doing training back when this happened.
Yes.
Right?
Along with the FBI and the DEA running.
Well, the Department of Homeland Security engulfs all of those agencies. They're all, they're separate, but they're all together. I mean, that's
And the other point too, Sarge, is that we saw Moscow police, Idaho State Police, Pullman Police, Latah County Sheriff's Department, the FBI, DEA. Wait a minute here. Hold on. The Secret Service and also Homeland Security. Like, there's what reasoning is there to have all of these agencies involved in one investigation? I get there's 4 people that were murdered, but this happens all the time in large cities. So why do we need all these people involved in this? That's the problem right there.
Candace, I'm followed on by I don't know 2,700 people or something like that. 20, I forget, a couple
Twitter,
of thousand people.
Yeah, you got a big
Over
following on Twitter.
No, not anymore because they banned me 21 times.
Oh.
Oh, 11 people I know. She's saying 11 people she knows, according
Got
to
you. Got you.
They banned me so many times. It was like it was like a normal thing. It was, hurrah, let's have another fucking host.
Yes.
They banned me on all kinds of different
I'm not
shit.
surprised with that one.
When I came out and I pointed out that COVID was unvaccinatable because it crosses species,
yeah,
they pounded me hard. That didn't
I
last
remember.
me.
I remember. I got they tried to take my channel down for 7 days over that statement, and I had to go in and fight it, and then they fixed it. But yeah, they were. YouTube is these. It's such a political joke with these things. You can't talk about. You can't talk about the Florida election with Trump. You can't talk about that. You can't talk about this. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, all that's gone now, supposedly.
Yeah.
Carl,
my understanding is too.
Carl, the chat that I'm in has 28 people in it. StreamYard's telling me I have 122, but we've got 80 of them over at X. So I don't know how to get to the other chat. I changed chats to begin with on YouTube. Somebody gave me a link and I jumped over to that link and there were 10 in the other one and 20 something in here.
Right.
Look at there it is. Lucy Morningstar just saying the MPD was partnered with Homeland Security in 2022. Well, you cause the intelligence agency to tell them, yeah, there's so much cleaning out that has to happen in our system. And, I think I've said this my whole life. Honesty is the most profitable fucking position to take. Yeah, I am on the wrong one somehow. What's the deal here? Oh, live. All right, I'm sorry. You can make more money with honesty than anything else. But the problem with being honest is the truth has a hard time coming across to people. Yeah.
Agreed.
Right.
If it's not what the mainstream wants you to believe, they're afraid. I was just talking with this over at Birdie's Zone. Like people are afraid of the actual truth because it doesn't fall into the daily regime of what's norm. Okay. And when you change that up, people get scared.
No, everybody is trying to control. Like I've got a friend that's on disability and he was losing his mind over Snap. And I tried not to laugh at him, but look, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I helped him out with, because I buy everything in bulk. So I helped him out where I could.
Yeah.
But I said, you're going to get your money. Yeah, but why? I'm fully disabled. Why should I have to suffer? I said, well, unfortunately, what you should have been arguing was, why are you letting these illegal immigrants collect our benefits?
Exactly.
Why did Biden give 5 million illegal immigrants Social Security numbers?
Why are they handing out cards with $30,000 on it, saying go buy cars and houses?
That should be your fight. Now people in charge like me, there were 17 million when Biden got in. There were 42 million when he left.
Yep.
Okay. Where did the 25 million people come from?
Yeah, right.
And all the history of Snap, there was only 17.2 million Americans on it. Now there's 42.
Yep.
Just imagine there's only 190 million workers. And then you 190 million workers got to feed 42 million people and families and their own.
Yeah. And you got people like I'm one of them. You guys know this, that are fighting for disability. That I was a civil servant for years. Okay. Or maybe your friend and people like that are struggling to fight for this stuff and they can't get it, but they're handing it off to people that don't even belong here left in day after day.
Right.
So it's insane.
Well, Elon Musk was right. The non-governmental organizations are the money behind it all, and your tax dollars support these things. That's what Clinton's the Clinton Foundation. There's an example of it.
Right.
But then you go look at the Trump family, and the money they donate comes from like he's going to have that ballroom built at the White House.
Right.
It's paid for by private funds from rich people. Are paying the whole bill, not a single tax dollar. Where Obama put in basketball courts, it cost us $347 million tax dollars.
Right.
right? And people cry he's going to put in a ballroom. But he put all that gold. I don't know if you've noticed the changes in the White House. He's turning that fucking thing into a palace at his own expense.
Yep.
The guy don't take any money for. He gets $450,000 a year to be president. He donates it to veterans. He don't take any money from us. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot to like about the guy. I guess if there's any real, like my friend was saying, well, he's coming out saying you ain't gonna get your food stamps. How come he's so mean? I go, bro, you're taking it personal. He's just making a statement. The government shut down. You're not going to get your food stamps.
It's his personality, right? People take it hardcore all the time. Like Twiz just said, Elon said on Rogan last week that the Democrats were holding the government hostage to pay for the illegal aliens because that's where they get their votes from. And I absolutely agree with that.
It's not even that. Here's something else. Look, the NGOs are the ones that once the immigrant comes in, they go to one of these NGOs that masquerade as a charity.
Sure.
Okay. And they get billions of dollars sent to them. And they, rather than give the money to the people there, they pocket it, right? And they help the people do a criminal thing, which is enter illegally, get themselves a social security number, or get themselves in one of those, like we were paying $60 million a year for a hotel in New York to house illegal immigrants.
Right, right.
That was just one of the many hotels that they were paying to house these folks in.
Yes.
And for what? They can vote.
Mm-hmm. That's what it's all about, Sarge. It's ridiculous. I said, in my opinion, that's what it's all about. So they can vote. We need more.
And that's why Democrats don't cater to blacks no more. They replaced the blacks. They knew eventually the blacks were going to all of a sudden wake up one day.
Yeah.
And they weren't going to vote Democrats. So they're hustling all these other people that are dependent upon the Democrat handout. Right.
Very good point.
It's crazy, man. And here we are. I'm just trying, like I said, I've been fortunate in life. I came from a abusive, abandoned fucking lifestyle, was a drug dealer and a criminal, and I turned my life around and everything worked good. And the secret was just being honest. That was it.
Yeah.
And I ended up with a very good life. I'm very fortunate.
I agree.
And I'm grateful for it every day.
Did you retire yet, or are you still working?
No, I retired.
That's what I thought. Okay, good.
Yeah, my birthday was in September, and I just made the commitment to retire. And it's winter now, so we're not working. But I'll transfer the company over to the foreman of my crew.
Gotcha. Good.
And let them keep it going.
Enjoy your life, my friend. Enjoy your car and your pool and all that good stuff. You deserve.
Yeah, I had a headache with that car this year, man. What a nightmare! But it was a learning curve.
Yeah.
It worked in Europe. Why not here? Yeah, it worked in Europe. Why don't you come in the stream there, fucking Twizzle? Twizzle fucking present or invite. Let me see here. Invite guests. I don't even know why I'm going through the trouble to do this. He's got some 88 reasons. He can be in the chat room, but he can't come up here and talk. I fucking bend that Twizzle stick right around your neck. You remember Twizzle sticks? You remember those things?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. They still make them.
Do they?
Yeah, my grandkids.
Apparently, there's one in my stream for proof.
Twiz is a good dude. Twiz is a good dude.
I'm not saying he's not. I wouldn't have been.
I love Twiz. I love Twiz. I would be here.
Lucy up here. You can't get Lucy up here. I was in what's her name stream there, Miss Potts.
Yes.
About a week ago.
Right.
She gets all stressed out because I'm all talked out on the Kohlberger case. Till the kid files an appeal.
Yeah. No, I get it.
There's nothing you could show me that's going to make me think any differently, right?
Right. That's what I've been telling everybody, that you hit your point with it until something happens, if anything happens, and then I figured at that point, that's my explanation from what I know of you.
Yeah, it's I'll tell you what my favorite. Just folks, write this name down. Roger Penrose. Okay,
I know that name.
Roger Penrose is a physicist. Guy's got to be about 280,000 years old. Okay, when this guy farts, the Big Bang is fucking present. That's how old that guy is.
Gotcha.
But he is a genius's genius. And late in his career now, over the last several years, he's been dealing with consciousness.
Gotcha.
And he came up with something that nobody can deny. And it supports my arguments. So yes, do I like him because he agrees with me? Yeah, but he does even more than that. He takes what I've been saying and shows you that it's true when it comes to artificial intelligence. computers can never be artificially intelligent. And he says this because, oh, there's my fucking thing talking on the other. He says this because there's something a computer that math can't do. Math cannot, like math can prove things. You agree with that?
I can. Yes, sir.
Math, even if you don't understand it, yeah, my balls itch sometimes, Luce. Math can verify something. So, and it's more than just miles, and it's more than just a tape measure. It's computations for formulas, for chemicals, for math is an extraordinary thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But it cannot calculate understanding.
No, sir. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
It's a very simple thing to say, but it's a very deep thing to understand. Our capacity to understand is beyond computational. Beyond computational. It doesn't matter if you have a computer that can do a gazillion calculations in a tenth of a second. It doesn't have the capacity to understand. That's what I've been trying to tell people for years. Only I've been saying it doesn't have the capacity to learn.
Right.
Not realizing that a better word for learn is understand.
Understand. Yeah. No, that makes sense. It does.
It will come to a solution. And like if you feed it all this data or give it access to all the data you have on a particular type of cancer,
yeah,
it may even be able to formulate a cure.
Agreed. And that's
but it has no understanding of it.
Of what it's doing. Right. No, I got you. And I agree with you. The thing I worry about the most is this new AI bullshit. And I think I agree with Keep It Real said it, I think, that it's going to be the death of us all. I agree with that. I truly do. It's too much, in my opinion. So
let me just correct Lucy. I told Alexa, which I call computer instead of Alexa. Right. I changed the name. I said to it, my balls itch. And it just, I say computer. And it lights up, my balls itch, and it just shuts off.
Uh-huh.
But then when I say, computer, what did you hear? It turns around and it says, I heard my balls itch.
Gotta love it.
I got it to do that. I broadcasted on the show one day. I said, I can get my computer to say my balls itch. Oh, man. But so that's the difference between consciousness and humanity and a computer.
Absolutely.
So a computer can calculate, but a computer can't understand. Therefore, there is no artificial intelligence to it. And we've been training it. We've been helping the algorithm writers write algorithms. If you notice, the first thing it does when you ask the AI a question is it reviews the internet.
Right, right.
What does a search engine do when you type a query into a search engine?
Reviews the internet.
There you go.
Do you think, though, that it won't, that at some point, Sarge, that it will be able to understand?
No.
No?
It can, no, because it's limited to calculations. See,
Gotcha.
here's something else he points out. And it's kind of mind-blowing, but it's we take it for granted. All right, where's your image? Put your image back up on the screen. You took your image down, Dago.
You don't see me?
No, I see that red thing.
I'm up here.
There it is. All right. Now, just imagine I'm looking at your image, right? I see your ears, your nose, your eyes, your eyebrows, your hair, your beard, the fire behind you. Right. I see lights flickering in the back. I see all of these things, and I understand what all of these things are.
Sure.
Okay. I also, at the same time, see the speakers from my computer, the light, the computer screen, the Coca-Cola bottle, the microphone, the key. In other words, instantly, I'm absorbing data, and my mind, is working so that no matter where you look, it's instantaneous. Look around your room, folks. It's instantaneous what you see.
Yeah.
Everything is a different shape. This is something else he says. If everything were the same shape, you would realize nothing.
I'll be right back, Sarge. Keep going.
And he says that what your mind is looking for is variances and differences in shapes. And he brings it all the way back to the triangle. And he does a little speech about triangles. And he shows that time isn't real. Another argument that I've made. Time is only real in the mind of us. Time is like a tape measure. He disagrees with space-time. Space is space. Time is something separate. Time is not universal. Our understanding of time does not apply universally throughout the universe. And this guy is just stunningly smart. And then he'll support it with math, or he'll support it with real science, what he's trying to show you. And that's why I say Roger Penrose is an astounding scientist. And this guy's no joke. He's not like out here looking for clicks. He doesn't do a stream. He gets interviewed by a lot of very, very, very intelligent people. So you only catch him on streams where, you know, these people are geniuses themselves. It's quite amazing. But I do like his take and his points that he makes on AI, and that it will be a danger to humanity because humanity will put its faith in it because we believe in information.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's our downfall. We believe in things. We believe Koberger did it or didn't do it, rather than looking at the facts and coming to a conclusion.
Right.
And if you're able to do that and you conclude he didn't do it, which is a fair conclusion based on the data that we've seen, right?
Yes.
You still have to find a way to accept his admitting he did it.
Right.
Right? And I can accept that.
It makes
Right.
sense. That makes sense.
I can accept that because that's reality. That is what it is.
Right.
And I wouldn't argue with Brian that he didn't do it. It would be a stupid argument.
Sure.
He's saying he did. You're saying he didn't. Well, he was the only one that could really know.
Exactly. I get it.
You see? And that's why all of the stuff and all of the streams, you know, it's still popular and people do it. That's fine. There's just so many other things going on around us.
Yeah.
You know, that's funny too. He's also not a believer in God. But
Right,
as he gets older and he learns more and more about what's actually going on, and he made a statement the other day that may make me change my focus.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "What we don't know about the universe is extraordinarily difficult to learn."
Yeah.
He said, "But if you break it down," he goes, "the brain is no different than the universe."
Good point.
And he said that it's in the brain. If you want to understand the universe, that you should probably work on understanding the brain. And he gets into Schrodinger's and all kinds of that Schrodinger cat.
Right.
You know, a lot of people don't realize what Schrodinger was doing was showing you that there was something wrong with our understanding.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't trying to prove that the cat was both alive and dead until you open the box. That's what a lot of people come to conclude, but that's not the point of what he was doing.
Right.
He was trying to show you that our understanding of reality is not real. We don't really understand it.
Mm-hmm.
And he says that, I just like this guy. He said the same thing I did.
Yeah.
We build machines to look for things. How is it that we don't realize our machines could be producing the result that we're looking for?
Good point.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So he really, I've said stuff like that too. I was actually with Grok for weeks and weeks trying
I remember.
Okay?
Yeah.
And that was one of the things I pointed out to Grok. I go, you know, if what we're in is 2D space and we're 3D, right?
Yeah.
We're not building any sensors to explore 2D space because we don't know how.
Yes.
And if we do know how, it's just a lack of effort.
Right.
It's almost like we don't think it has any meaning at all, right? So our machines are based on what we expect or what we hope to theorize.
Right.
And we assemble this microscope or this telescope or this radio antenna and a lot of the shit works. So it's hard to accept.
Yeah.
That the very machine we created to look out into space is producing results that we expect to see. You follow me?
Yes, I do. Yes,
And
I
it
do.
says there's no way we're not looking to find if there's truth to that or not. We just take what the telescope shows us and accept that as truth.
Sure.
And it may not be, was his point. And I thought that guy's so he's pretty fucking genius. And so that's kind of where I wandered off into, because it's a very challenging thing. And he's such a nice old guy. That's the other thing. He's just so fucking kind. And he's got a little place he stays in England.
Uh-huh. I've heard the name Penrose. So it had
Roger Penrose.
And, something in the news, I'm sure.
Well,
How old is he? I know what you said he was age-wise, but he's up there, right?
he was in his third year of university 50 years ago.
Oh, okay. So he's up
All
there.
right. So, yeah, I mean, 50 years ago would be what? early 70s,
Yeah,
late
yeah.
60s, or yeah, 25 from this and 25 back would be
So he
75.
was probably in his 40s at that point then. So,
No,
so right.
Yeah, but his college goes back. Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. 70 years ago, he was at university. I'm sorry, I made a mistake.
So that puts him
70 years ago.
way the fuck up there. Yeah. Gotcha.
So
Well,
go
hey,
back to 1950s. He was going to university when Einstein was doing all of his shit.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, and he went to school with a lot of prominent physicists, Stephen Hawking's, and anybody you could think of. This guy has mingled with, been with, worked on formulas with.
Sure.
He's more than just, you know, some guy like Sergeant Friday.
He was born August 8th of 1931, you guys.
There you go. So add 18 years to they get 31
89
to
years old.
1950. He's
No,
89 right now. Yeah, there you go.
No. Hold on. That was as of October 2020. So add 5 more years to that. 94 years old.
And he was in school at 17.
Yeah,
in university.
The guy's a genius. I'm looking at his breakdown right now. He's absolutely a genius. Jesus Christ, he makes Musk look like a grade schooler with some of the stuff that he knows. You know what I mean?
Musk has got no formal training.
No.
And he's engineering more so than anything else. This guy is a mathematician, a physicist, theoretical physicist.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got papers written and blah. I think he even won the Nobel Prize.
He did. I was just getting ready to say that. He's a celebrated British mathematical physicist, genius, known primarily for his contributions to the general relativity, and received the Nobel Prize, which is not surprising at all.
No, and he collaborates with a lot of top scientists, top physicists, top.
Yeah.
And now he's working with top neurologists, and he's learned things about the brain to try to understand consciousness, not because it was something he yearned to do,
right?
But somehow his work brought him to that. And he can't tell you what consciousness is, but he can tell you some stuff about your brain that'll blow your fucking mind.
Well, he's worked with I know who this guy is. I don't know if you guys do, but Stuart Hameroff on the theory of consciousness and delved deep into this. Hameroff has dealt with consciousness for years. I read a couple of his books that are amazing. So that in itself tells me a whole lot right there.
Yeah. In the brain, there's these things called microtubulars.
Yes.
And information or cells or something, I don't know what it is, moves through these microtubulars, and they're 27 times thinner than a human hair.
Mm-hmm.
And what he's realizing is that, like with the double slit experiment, the Schrodinger cat, wave functions collapse, and we don't know why they collapse. He's suggesting that the collapsing of the wave function takes place in the brain, and it's that collapsing wave function that gives us understanding.
Gotcha.
And that it's through that process that we have a consciousness.
Yes, and that's the thing that Hameroff, the guy that he's worked with, that's why I read those books, because when I was looking at the whole ghost hunting stuff and I was looking into that, Hameroff came out with some books on consciousness, talking about when people die, when human beings die, they don't truly, and it's a theory he has, that they don't truly die. They just move to the next and highest level, higher level of consciousness as a form of energy and keep continuously going in that direction. And I just thought that was amazing. I really got interested in that stuff. So,
well,
very interesting.
I enjoy listening to the guy. I put him on in the background.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I'll sit down and watch, and it's not really lectures. He gives interviews.
Sure.
He does sometimes stand up at a podium and give what you would call a lecture, but
right.
His powers, he does make it so that anybody with moderate intelligence can follow along with him.
Yeah.
To understand how he got to his suppositions. It's kind of nice.
Yes. Yeah. Keep it real. Beyond, they're probably two of the smartest men that exist right now.
Yeah. I mean, he's 94. I hope the guy lives another 20 years.
Agreed. Well, with his intelligence level, he probably could figure out a way to do that, to be honest with you. Especially working with him.
He's the what is it? There's particle. There's all kinds of physics. What is that? I know the fucking name. I just can't.
Hey, Jilly. Oh, you talking about the different quantum mechanics? Yeah, that's the one thing Hameroff was big into that got my attention. It's very interesting. If you guys have the ability to read, please read his books.
What are the books? Put them in the chat room. or something or
I'll
whatever.
have to go find them because it's been years, but I read
Oh,
a
okay.
bunch of that stuff years ago. But Hammeroff puts out, like I said, those levels of consciousness, and he talks about like people think they die and they go to heaven, they go to hell, so on and so forth, and all that. And I'm a religious person, Sarge, you know that, so I believe fully in that. He talks about when you die, you just move to another level of consciousness and become a different form of energy, and you keep going through that situation. And then he went into the conversation about because somebody had asked him a question and written him and asked him a question about like alien beings and so on and so forth. And he said, they asked him, do you believe that alien beings that live in other planets may have been just a different level of consciousness and started where we're at? And I couldn't put the book down. It was really interesting shit. So
Yeah, I can't say what happens when we're gone, but when you realize that all of us are just energy in physical form, and that everything that you can observe and come in contact with is energy in physical form. That's where I was deep diving with Grok to try to understand
sure,
what they claim to be empty space. And I argue that it's just dark light.
we had
It
that
can't be
conversation. I
empty.
remember that.
It cannot be empty, especially when you know that two paired particles, no matter the distance, instantly react to whatever you do to one of them.
Exactly.
Okay, that's what quantum computing is tied to as well.
Sure.
Okay, they call them qubits. But in order for any information from one particle to another to make that instant movement, there has to be a mechanism between the two.
Yes, of course.
Right. And I suggest that mechanism, understanding that mechanism, may in fact be the way you can travel through the galaxy. That it will not take as time goes on and we learn more. You don't need warp drive like the Enterprise. The distance between us and the Andromeda galaxy is there is no what we call time. There is no lag. It's from here to there in an instant.
Right.
Just like the paired particle.
Sure.
That if we were ever to live, let's say for whatever reason, all of a sudden we could live to be 1,000, you would see that come to fruition. And I honestly think that there's a point in human history where that knowledge or that capacity may have been part of daily life.
It's very possible, and it still could be. We don't know that. That's one of the things that Hammeroff was putting out there, is that there may be no end to the life cycle that we have. It just may change every time we supposed quote unquote pass on. It just changes into another force, another form. And I was like, damn, that's interesting. So very interesting.
Right. And your energy can't be removed. You can't get rid of energy. Energy is there.
No, it changes every day. It changes all day long, every day.
Changes form.
Yes, it just changes forms repeatedly over and over and over again. So
he does this thing with triangles, showing you that it's time, and he shows the triangles in different stages, different sizes.
Right.
And he's showing you that entropy is the basis under which they argue time. It proves time, and that things change, and we say they change over time. But he says that doesn't prove the existence of time.
Right.
It simply proves that change is constant.
Constantly changing. Yeah.
Now it may take, like a crazy example I'll make up is that it may take 10,000 years for a plastic bottle to disintegrate.
Sure.
But something's happening during that 10,000 year period.
Yeah, there's always a what the hell's the word I'm looking for? Like a process that's in constantly happening.
Because energy is constant. And there's energy in everything you come in contact with.
Yes. Right? That is a fact. Yeah.
And so entropy doesn't prove time. Entropy just entropy they call it. I think that's how you pronounce it.
And entropy, yes. I've seen the word before.
Just proves change, that everything is in constant change.
And that's what oh, Jesus Christ, I just said his name 4 times. Makarov. Anyway, he said that if we had the ability to harness and control that energy at that point, that's when we would be able to have the control over what happens with us. And he said he believes it's a possibility. So that was
Carl thinks time is speeding up, but that's because Carl's getting older.
I agree with that too. It is definitely
and you see the same things over and over again, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So Eventually they jumble
Different
themselves.
variations, but the same thing happens again and again.
Right. Like life is a repeat for most people, right?
Absolutely. Because nobody's understood or figured out how to make that change at this point. Yes.
But I think that on this planet, we did at one time have that knowledge.
Sure. I agree with you.
And I think that we lost that knowledge. And I think one of the ways that they help control us is by training us to believe in data rather than just accept it at face value and move on, or use it for whatever it's useful for.
Well, that's what Mekarov was saying, was that if we did have, like you're saying, we had that here and we had that at our fingertips at some point, and that once they got to that point, that level of consciousness, they left this planet and moved on to a different one, to a different level, to a different form, and they continuously keep doing that. And I said, well, that's just wild to me.
Hi, girl next door.
Welcome. Thank you, girl next door. Good to see you.
Yeah, it's see, to me that stuff is just deep, but it's also highly interesting in that.
Yes.
And people are people. The corruption you're seeing in Idaho is corruption that's happening all over the place.
Yes.
Right. And
the human mind creates this and allows for this to happen because there's no consequence for the thought process that people have, because they feel that they're untouchable. Therefore, they continuously do these types of things because in some aspect they can be untouchable, and it's a sad situation.
The other thing too is and this is why my goal when I first came back around is so hard to achieve. Is people believe that they can't do anything about it. Right. So they argue and waffle back and forth about the Koberger case, never realizing that if a massive group of us got together and sent letters to the director of the FBI saying, hey, this criminal case was mishandled by your department.
Sure.
And they colluded with the local agency to hide their involvement.
Right.
What's going on, Cash? If he was getting 5 or 10 letters every day, right?
He's got to respond at some point. Yes.
But here's the point I want to make is that we can make a difference.
Sure.
But we all believe we can't. Because we've been convinced to believe.
We're conditioned to be that. Yeah, we've had this conversation. We're all conditioned to feel that way. That's a fact. And people fear the change of that because of you fear what the consequences of that could be. And that's my opinion of that.
I don't think everybody needs to feel fear. I think that's also a belief that just, I don't suspect Cash Patel could ignore that. Okay. Or Dan Bongino, this number 2. They're going to have to sit down and talk about it. We keep getting all these letters that this Idaho case was crooked, criminal. Yeah. It was a lie. This kid's innocent. He was trapped. You can imagine getting 5, 10, 15, 20 letters a day on that.
Yeah, but that's why I don't.
Eventually, they're going to have to look at it, and even if they don't provide you with the answer you expect or choose to want, you can prompt action on any of this stuff. We can.
See, I don't
individually. No,
I don't know that the FBI is the route to go, but I do believe that going maybe to the Department of Justice and like doing what you said daily, sending 5, 10 letters a day, multiple people doing it. At some point, they have to look at the situation. Okay. And at that point, then what? You know what I mean?
We'll do both, the Department of Justice and the FBI.
Yeah, you could do that too. That's a good point.
How about some of the investigator generals that are there to keep an eye on these departments?
Agreed.
Nobody's looking at that case, but Lucy is correct when she laid out how the FBI was involved in the case. We know the FBI was involved. We know they lied.
Right.
They're claiming the FBI did the IgG work. The IgG work was done at the same lab that fucking Idaho brought the sample to.
Sure.
You can't hide behind the FBI now.
No, not at all.
Right. And so, that's just, it's like those user agreements. We all have to click OK, accept in order to use Windows, in order to play a game on your phone.
Yep.
Giving these people a rights to sell your data. I mean, the fuck, you're making money on my data. I want some of that profit, or you shouldn't be able to make money on my name. Absolutely. None of us seem to think that you could do anything about that.
Good point. Very good point.
Right? I mean, that to me is the simplest thing for a community of people to fix would be user agreements.
Yes. Yeah. Right? And that Senor Wazowski, by the way, Sarge, he's a retired Baltimore City police officer. He's been around for a while in our community. I don't know if you remember him or not. I don't think he was around too long, but he's really got
down, right?
Yeah, good insight into what he says. But he says that everyone is complacent and would rather live the steady life that they have been in, instead of rocking the proverbial boat and just keep the sand covering their head. That's what I've been saying. It's safer. It's safer, and I think I've always told you that's where that comes into play, is that people are
It's
afraid.
safer, but we got experiences. Look at Elon Musk came out and did what he did.
Right.
And he got involved with the government. He found out all of that corruption, all the bullshit that's going on. He stepped away, but he left behind the workers. That never stopped.
Yes.
Right. But he's running $1 trillion company. He can't spend his whole life in government even if you're paying. You could never pay a guy like that enough to begin with.
Right.
What's he supposed to do? To walk away from his rockets, his cars,
exactly.
His AI machine. But he left Big Balls there. Remember that guy, Big Balls?
Mm-hmm.
And so, like Trump said during the shutdown, he eliminated programs that the Democrats couldn't stop him from doing.
Right.
So, no, there's a lot. Someone like that's an example of step outside of your comfort zone.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. It's good to see you here, Senior Wazowski. I'm glad to see you popped over here. Sergeant's conversations are always very interesting. So I've missed these conversations. I enjoy doing this with you always.
No, I appreciate it.
Always,
I'm a bit wackadoodle. I'm a bit nuts, but
we've always had these conversations. Even in Discord, we would sit for hours and talk about shit like this. It's just it's nice to be able to have conversations like this. There's people that don't like to talk about shit like this because, like I said, they have a fear of it because they don't understand it. That's the issue.
And the only way to understand is to get involved in it.
Yeah, right. And there's no reason not to understand it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think people should. I think there's so many wonders that are still unknown.
Yes.
And I think that there's so many wrongs that could be made right. Like a lot of people don't know, Trump has already found 30,000 of the children that were sold into sex trafficking.
That's very true.
There's 300,000 missing children. Why isn't True Crime talking about that?
That's a very good point.
Oh,
sir.
That's political. Really? Some little kid being forced to have sex with adults is political?
Yep.
Right? Where's all these live streamers out here with all of these voices, all these people listening to them? Why aren't they talking about these 300,000 missing kids?
Exactly.
Right? That's a crime beyond fucking unimaginable crime.
Yes, sir.
But you feel like the crime's so big you can have nothing to do. You can't do anything about it. Well, you can if you talk about it all.
Talk about it. That's all you got to. I've done it on and off for years. You have to talk about it because it's a real thing and it's never going to stop until it's brought to the table.
Well, no, it's stopped now. There's 0 people coming across that border.
Well, that's what
they were doing.
Yeah.
They were bringing them here and they were exporting them around the world from the United States of America, from your beloved country. We were the largest sex trafficker in the history of humanity.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean. All these wars that we've gone to with all these different presidents.
Right.
They weren't for you and me. They were because, like, even now, Putin fighting with Ukraine, it's got nothing to do with us.
Nope.
But the Europeans are always fighting with the Russians. They always wanted to. This
We're
goes
always
back hundreds of years.
We're always sticking our nose in other people's business and always have.
Yeah, well.
While we have our people here day after day sleeping on the sidewalk outside the White House, they don't even look at them twice. It's disgusting.
Right, but you're going to argue with me that there's no such thing as a legal person. Well, there is a fucking thing as people doing something illegal.
Yes.
Right? You can't break a law unless you're a human being.
That's correct.
Right? Your dog can't break the law. The dog can shit. You're supposed to pick it up. Who's breaking the law? You or the dog? Well, you if you don't pick it up. Right?
That's right. That's right.
So, we can make a difference. And I just find it extraordinarily sad that with all of the power to communicate, there really is not anything totally focused on cleaning up the chaos. This kid should never have went through that Koberger case. That shouldn't even have been brought.
Nope. Agreed.
You got magistrates, people that aren't even elected, or people that may not even be fucking qualified. Look at the coroner there is a fucking political appointee. She doesn't do any of the work. Then what the fuck do you got that job for?
Yeah.
And
there's,
right?
I don't know if you saw it, but there's new information that came out about her that's a violation in itself in this case, that she was supposed to have gone into that house before anybody did and take custody of those bodies. They did not allow her to go into that house till between 7 and 9 p.m. that night. Bill Thompson and Trashley Jennings went in that house before she even got to go in and take custody of those bodies. That in itself, in my opinion, should have thrown this case out, Sarge.
The whole case is just corrupt from the floor up. And there's never been a moment in time where it wasn't corrupt.
Yes. I don't think there ever was. I don't think there ever was.
Yeah, I so wish this kid would have taken it to trial. I feel like sending him a letter and offering him money to hire a law firm.
Yeah, right.
Because this is just crazy what they did to him there.
Yes. Yes. And not just him, what they've done to, they can do this to anybody, you guys. They can do this to any one of us at any given time. Here's proof of it right now. And that's why it should not be allowed to happen the way it does. So, what do we got
At
there?
the start of a tech revolution in human civilization that has not occurred since the.
We can't click it, Twiz, not in chat.
Click what?
He put a link in the chat, but we can't click on it because it's in, we're not mods.
A link to what?
I have no idea.
I don't see him on this channel. Where the hell did he link us?
Which channel are you on?
Everyone click here, and there's nothing to click.
It's up above, right above where he said that. There's a link there.
Yeah, I can't do it in this backroom chat. I don't see it on. Maybe I'm in the wrong. He's in the wrong chat room. I don't see him over on.
Okay,
YouTube.
it's probably this stupid vertical thing. Yeah, I don't. Yep. I can't. I tried to click on it. I can't. If you drop it in Discord, Twiz, I will. I'll click on it and check it out.
But we've been conditioned to just to do what we're doing. That's the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people don't believe that there's time. They don't believe that it's worth the effort. They don't. It all comes down to that fucking believing in shit.
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah.
Absolutely.
No, but the state wouldn't allow him to put up a defense. Meaning, when you look at the data that's been released, anything that would have been an argument that he didn't do it is not going to be allowed.
Gotcha.
So what does he go to trial for? He can't make an argument. It wasn't me. You got all these other people that were there.
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely right.
It's you know, and I can't tell you who these people are because I wasn't there. Well, they found your DNA. Well, I don't know how the fuck they found my DNA.
Exactly.
Right. And then you argue that the arguments against that DNA being accurate. You look, they would even disclose that.
Yep.
Right. And then for a judge, this is when I lost my mind. When the judge says you two have to come up with something other than talking about the IGG. We have to agree. You two have to agree on they wanted to keep it like a tip. Mm-hmm. It was a tip. That IGG work wasn't a fucking tip. That was scientific work performed by a lab at the behest of Idaho.
Yeah, but then Hitler came out and told that Ann and Bill that come together and figure out a story to tell people, the jury, about that tip thing. So,
yeah,
you know, once again, the corruption is real. I'll just say that. It's a joke. That judge needs to be dethroned, disrobed. He needs to be thrown out of the bar, and he needs to go to prison, in my opinion, right along with Bill Thompson and Ashley Jennings. Those three, in my opinion, need to be in jail right now.
Yeah, and Hitler was that I just think Ann screwed that whole thing over. I think the fact of the matter is that if you have 55 terabytes of data, that all has to be disclosed. And you're going to have to show us exactly where in that stream of data you're going to use what you're going to use in trial.
Agreed. I think that Anne believed in the system too much and believed that she could make the truth come to the table. And at that point, no. And then come to find out, Hitler was on the board, Sarge. I don't know if you knew this, but he was on the board, from what we understand, to choose himself. Like they put it on at the vote of a board to pick who the judge was going to be when they moved to Ada County. He was on the same board. I don't know how that's even legal. That should be a conflict of interest. So
WB says he surrenders. I don't know what that means, but
I surrender.
I've given a link to get you up here. You don't need fanfare, Twix.
Yeah, come on up, Twiz. I haven't heard your voice in fucking
Sounds
years.
like he's 15 years old. I'll crack him in the back of the head and send him down.
The link's up there, I think, isn't it? The StreamYard link.
It's not. I don't know where I would. Where is it? I don't know how I
drop it in the main chat, and he should be able to grab it. Yeah, it's right there.
Oh, he says I'm backstage. Oh, there he is.
Oh, I didn't even
Don't
see
call
him.
me stupid, you twit. Look at your face on the screen, you broke potato. Hey, I had a beautifully big Idaho potato today for dinner.
Was it steak?
Did you swear to the potato gods?
No, I didn't know potatoes had gods.
Oh, wow.
Vegetables.
Wow.
Why are
well,
they?
you know, you were just saying that we go from like one conscious level to another, and like maybe you just ate your future best friend or something.
Could be. Could be. Oprah was a girl.
Jesus Christ. Very possible.
I mean, nothing worse than if my future best friend's a guy and I just ate him.
Yes. Yeah.
So I got on my phone and I clicked the link and it wasn't working, so I had to transfer it to myself. So like that whole new live thing that YouTube's doing is kind of
Yeah,
stupid.
you gotta turn it off.
Well, for those in the audience that don't know the apparently famous Twizzle Stick, he has now joined the main studio chat, and is complaining about how he had to get in here already. But what else is up, Twiz?
Absolutely nothing.
No. Did you get
Where
your
you
house
been,
all
bro?
straight?
Good to see you.
Did I get my what?
Weren't you doing something with your house, new siding or something?
Nope, that was not me.
Oh, all right. It was somebody. I heard someone passed away.
Tommy.
Tommy did, yeah, sadly.
How did he? What caused his passing?
He had cancer.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it happened really fast too, like within a week.
Really?
Yeah, it was very sad.
Wow.
Yeah,
I would really
better
like
than
to
the linger.
know
All right.
How the doctors missed it, because he's been in the hospital on and off for like the last year at least.
yeah. Well, I've talked to Tommy a few times, and I gotta wonder if Tommy knew and just didn't want to put it out there and have people feeling bad for him because he don't like that. So
Yeah, I have a feeling he was. I don't want to say like ready to go, but like at peace with it.
Well,
very possible. Yeah,
we all
very
gotta
possible.
go.
Very possible.
Like that
I
last
do-
live he did, it was what called the finale or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, it literally just was because
Yeah.
he was gone.
Within days, Twiz. It was within days.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was beyond crazy. And I was like,
Well,
yeah.
but in a sense, though, if you gotta go, who wants to linger with terminal cancer?
Agreed. Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it's
the
not
ups-
like he went in his sleep too.
He did. He did.
It
Yeah.
oh,
it
that's
wasn't the worst way.
Yeah.
awesome.
He didn't struggle. He didn't. I mean, he was having. Coco said he was having a hard time breathing and stuff, and you could see it to some aspect. But his son came there, stayed with him that night. He went to sleep, and that was it. So at least he didn't suffer or anything like that. You know.
Right. That's the best thing you can hope for, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
You don't want to have to just suffer around. I mean, that's horrible.
No.
Yeah. Well, my condolences to the guy. I still got that famous clip of him screaming with cocaine under his nose. I don't think I should.
Tommy
play
was
it.
something else, guys. I'll tell you that much. He really, truly was something else.
He was like who's that other crazy broad that was out there? That one that looked like TikTok. Has he ever talked about Koberger again? TikTok, the parachute guy.
Oh, Circus. What the
Rip
hell?
Drop. What's his name?
He disappeared. I have no idea where he's at.
I haven't seen anything from him in a while either. I don't know.
I don't know where he went.
Who admitted to making stuff up?
I have no idea what Lucy's talking about.
I'm glad that he admitted to making that stuff up, though. Who are you talking about?
She's talking about Tommy and that call about him being the drug dealer in Moscow.
Oh, okay.
Whatever happened to? Yeah, I was suspect of anybody that made claims of connections to the burgers or to that crime.
Drip Drop went back to doing the interrogation videos he started with, I guess.
Oh, about her flushing the Maddie stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't personally care what Tommy did at this point.
Yeah,
he thought he had to do at that point to get it out there, and he's gone now. So he knows the truth, if anything. I'll say that much.
Yeah, what harm? I mean, people are out here to be entertained anyway, so it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
If your motive is entertainment,
Tommy was
not
the
now.
one that made that flushing thing. That was one of the original.
What? Speak up there, Twiz.
Yeah, you sound like you're in a can, bud.
I don't think.
Tighten the string on that can.
Hold on.
Hey, Matt. Good to see you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Drip Drop is a tunnel guy. He was the parachute guy. He was the guy that said people climbed up a tree.
Drip Drop.
Then,
all he was doing, Sarge, was getting as many views as he possibly could.
of course, that's what a lot of this is about. And look at if people want to go for that. That's you can't stop them.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Right?
Twiz is on a quest.
Twiz has got to tighten the string on the cans he's talking through.
Yeah. You got headphones in, Twiz? Earbuds?
String has to be a little bigger than what you sew a hole in your socks with. Come out of the tunnel, Twiz.
Lucy said, "Keep it real. Come out of the closet."
Uh-oh, Twiz, you're being called out.
Those two go back and forth like you wouldn't believe. So
Oh
funny.
boy. We got a homosexual potato in here. Jesus Christ. Dear God.
I heard that Twiz shaved his beard off. I would
Oh
love
wait,
it.
he dropped.
I didn't shave it off. I just cut it off.
Oh,
I
okay.
shaved. I got rid of all my facial hair is all gone. My hair's all styled. Yeah,
I want to see what it looks like. How short is it now? Is it all gone, Twiz?
It's like a half inch.
Wow.
But the reason why I cut it is because it was growing all crazy,
Yeah.
like swirls and loops, and it would twist, just doing stupid stuff. So I used my trimmers and cut it, and it didn't even cut because all the hairs were all weird.
Right.
So like there's like some long ones, like they don't want to cut.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Could be the way you think and driving your own hair crazy.
Dude, something. I don't know.
Something's going on underneath those roots.
Yay.
I was like researching, beard care and stuff, and I got some beard oil, that's supposed to help, and like it definitely did, but I'm just going to reset it, restart and see if it'll grow.
Yeah, I use that. I can't remember what the hell it's called, but it's oil because I'm old now and this shit turned white, and it gets coarse when it turns white. So I've had to use conditioner and all that shit now. So
I've got dirty blonde hair with some light gray in it, and then my beard was pure gray.
Mm-hmm.
So I shaved it. I look a bit younger now.
I'd like to know what Lucy thinks about those, was it Venmo messages that sounded awfully a lot like dealing cocaine?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember those?
I pulled them up the other day because they're still
Venmo
up.
or Cash App or something?
The Venmos are still up there. The last one, I pulled it up about 2 weeks ago. And the last Venmo from that account from Ethan there was two. One to Kaylee and one to, oh, shit.
Maddie.
I can't remember who it was, but they're still there. It's weird.
What were the Venmo messages?
Well, the one to Kaylee said, yeah, YUH. And then the other one said, it was to Jack Catabich. That's it. Sorry. Hold on here. I can show you if you want. 1 second here.
Because I remember like Lana and people going over it a long time ago.
Yeah.
Because the lady from Moscow told me they dealt drugs out of that house. The rumors since the beginning have been they were dealing drugs out of that house.
Yes, sir. Dave himself said that as well. Kim said that.
Trendy Awagra chops you up.
So
that's one of the gangs Trump has targeted to get out of the country and to attack their home base.
Okay.
I've heard from maybe a solid source that Kaylee was dealing and Maddie did flush it, and that's why this whole thing went down. So
that was said right in the very beginning too.
Jack Catabich.
Exactly.
His last Venmo payment from 11/12/22, Ethan paid Jack, and it just says thank, and it's still there. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't think these messages were from Ethan. I think they were like from Maddie. They were talking about white stuff, dumpsters. Like this is where like the whole dumpster thing started.
Gotcha. Okay. And then Ethan, I can't find Kaylee's Venmos. They've disappeared. Well, her name's on here, but okay. So that one here says Ethan Chapin paid Kaylee Goncalves at 11/12 again, and it says yeah. And then it paid her again that same day. It says thank you.
Yeah, those were it.
Interesting.
I wish I could talk to Kim though and see what she thinks.
Kim, because a lot of stuff Kim has said back then has started to come to fruition at this point, Sarge. So it's pretty wild.
If what I'm hearing is correct, MPD got bags of cash.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah. Surprised? Nope.
No, not at all.
Their first thing that we know it was a targeted attack. Well, how did you know if you don't know who did it? Well, they did know who did it. They're just trying to,
I agree with that too.
Point away.
They do know.
It wouldn't take much. All you got to do is if you've been some of these cartels and these gangs that are affiliated with them, it doesn't take much for them to chop you up. You know, like that one family not far from there that was attacked at 4 in the morning and stabbed. Remember?
Just think about what happened to those kids if it's gang or cartel related. Isn't that a good reason to shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
They butchered
Yeah,
4 people in that house, right?
There's a bunch of stuff from Maddie to Kaylee. It says coffee, then another one says utilities, and another one says for tea, the letter T, casa, the tub, utilities, and I mean they're all within like the same 48 hours.
Melissa, they make MS-13 look like a Boy Scout troop. Pendialaga is probably the worst narco-terrorist group in the world. And they're vicious when they kill people. They don't just shoot you and do a drive-by shooting. They grab you. They'll cut your head off.
Right.
These people are and they do it with knives. This was all discussed in a very early part of the Koberger case.
Yes, it was.
Even the statement you're making now, that was said within weeks of the revelation that Brian was the perpetrator.
Yeah.
That can't be.
Lucy said, "Why'd they leave Dylan and Bethany?" That's been, I think, the question of the year for the past 4 years.
All right, it makes no sense.
They weren't involved in whatever was going on, but there's also, again,
but it makes
good reason to believe that they're threatened.
But you want to leave survivors behind to your rampage so that other people don't repeat whatever those girls were killed for.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like a message,
right?
And the reason why Dylan and Bethany's story doesn't make sense, I don't know if they were told what to say, but again, on good authority that they were threatened.
Oh, I agree with that full-heartedly.
And then MPD probably threatened them more.
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised if the truth ever did come out that those cartels were working with MPD and U of I and probably here to traffic drugs. Like, they all know. They all work together. They all get paid.
Yeah, and the thing is that's at every one of our universities. These places are surrounded.
Yep.
By these drug dealings that are connected to cartels. It's sick.
Yeah, and the FBI, it's known fact that the FBI uses people from the cartel to do the things that they work together, folks, which is insane, but they do.
Well, Trump needs to keep blowing up the boats. Keep thinking fucking things.
I mean, that's what the whole Iran-Contra thing was about, right? And then you got Freeway Rick Ross. Like, they were bringing the CIA, FBI people are bringing drugs in to fund their black ops. So then they can't say that American tax dollars are paying for it. So they bring the drugs in, they own all of the dealers and everything, and then they make it illegal. I'm doing quotes so they can have an excuse to keep the prices high and keep the prisons full, which is how they make money off of the prison system too.
Yes, sir. It's all money in politics, folks.
It's all a fucking racket.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah. Well, the corruption is just all over the place, but it starts with the officials that are in charge and works its way up through the ranks. It's just, and here we sit as a population talking about this crime. The real crime was the fact that there was anything that these 4 kids could have got involved with that would end up with them being killed.
Mm-hmm.
That just shouldn't even be an option in this country. You shouldn't have to worry about that. And parents, if they knew the amount of drug trafficking connected to the colleges they're sending their kids, they wouldn't send their kids.
Sure.
Right?
It's hilarious that every Nightline, Dateline, Prime Video, every one of them things that came out, every person they interviewed said, "Oh no, there was no drugs being trafficked out of that house. There was no drugs being sold out of that house. There was no drugs anywhere." Okay, sure, you say so. We had a couple people that gave personal interviews that said, "Yeah, they were doing cocaine, they were doing this, they were doing that." I believe truly, wholeheartedly, it was being sold out of that house. That's my full-blown opinion on that. Right. So.
Somebody mentioned Doge was supposed, but Doge did do its work. There's still the Doge employees are still working for the government.
Yeah,
it didn't ever get turned off. Elon Musk left, but that was it. He still got all the people that were there working with him. They may even have hired more. You don't hear anything about it anymore, which is probably smart to keep these people from being killed.
Right. And yes, keep it real. 100%. I agree with you. Yeah, and that's fact. Senior is right, because I did a little like deep dive on multiple universities in the United States, they use the frats and sororities as like their distribution centers. They hand them all this stuff and that stuff and say, here, go sell this. And 100% they do what they're told. They get their own free, their own free drugs and indulge in. They get money out of it, so on and so forth. And it's been that way for a long time. So it's not like it's something new or crazy. So they absolutely use the frats and sororities to do that.
It's the corruption has become. It's never really had as much of a free reign in the history of the world.
Right.
And then you got this guy that people want to hate because he's got orange hair and he does talk shit. But he's trying to fix as much as he can. And he's done more in 10 months than any single president has done in their entire 8 years. It's astronomical. That one big, beautiful bill. I bring off a couple of things. I can earn $49,974 a year from the stock market, completely tax free. Not one single iota bit of federal tax on that money.
All right. Do you think that we're getting these new stimuluses that they're talking about? Do you think those are coming?
I think he's going to. The one way he's going to, if the Supreme Court, I don't know how the Supreme Court's going to rule on his tariff power.
Right.
But they're arguing that he's collecting a tax and that the president cannot levy tax, only the Congress, which is true.
Yeah.
However, if the money that he's collecting is given back to the American people to offset the increase of the tariff, then I don't know that they can stop him.
Okay. That makes sense.
That's changed the whole world. I said this before. Some of you may not know it, but years ago, for years, I've been saying we never needed to raise a bullet to anybody.
Right.
Simply with our power, economic power of trade, we could actually make this world a better place.
Sure.
Because no country can exist without our consumer market. No country can exist because they don't have anywhere to export it.
Gotcha.
So our economic power, and Trump used that power of economics to solve 8 wars and end them. He ended 8 wars cold because he told the countries, do what you're going to do. Not only are we not going to send you money to help you, but you're no longer allowed to trade anything to our nation, even through a third party. So if we buy uranium from your country, we will not buy it anymore. And if you ship it to somebody we're friends with and think they're going to sell it to us, we ain't buying it from them either.
Right.
And the wars ended because their economic ability to survive was gone if they didn't stop fighting. That's what I mean. These are things that make for a great president, whether you like the man or not. He's wielding power, what they call it soft power. Right? He just told Nigeria, stop slaughtering Christians or you're going to find a whole bunch of American guns surrounding you.
Right.
And they deployed their own military to go after the insurgents. Nigeria don't want to play. They don't want to lose their trade capacity to us.
Right.
There's another country, and listen, folks, your worldwide problems are based out of Britain. If Americans knew how much power Britain had over America, you guys would say, well, we never won the war.
Right.
We never won the War of Independence, ever. Because we didn't.
Gotcha.
We did on the battlefield, but in the paperwork, we did not. And that's what Trump is reversing.
Okay.
I wish he would come out and tell the public exactly what he's doing and why.
Yeah, I would too. I wish he would too, so that people could understand it.
Well, but he doesn't want to start a shooting war either.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right? So, but again, the freedom from Britain, everybody thinks the Iraq war was solely Bush. No, that was orchestrated and carried out on the behest of Britain, and then Britain acted like they were following us in. All of these economic collapses, all of the chaos, the Federal Reserve, that's not an American bank. Right. The act that created the Federal Reserve was a British act.
Yep.
Okay, they're taking us off the gold standard, another act for the British. Okay, and a lot of Americans blame the Jews, but the Jews, they don't understand, is they're a colony of Britain.
Gotcha.
It was created after World War II because the British wanted it, and America went with it. Same thing with the United Nations. All of this stuff is under British control, British supervision. And Britain doesn't look like it. I mean, on the face of it, when you read the paper or look at the news, you don't see Britain anywhere.
Yeah.
But they're behind the scenes on everything.
Gotcha.
That's the deep state. That's where the corruption is. That's where he's attacking. He's freeing countries from Britain. Literally freeing countries in today's day and age from Britain control. by telling them we'll buy it. Because what would happen is Britain would take control of the export duties on a lot of these, like India. You know, India was a British colony, right?
Yes.
Indochina, right?
Yes.
Okay. That stuff, folks, still has play in the modern age, but it's in the background. We're not exposed to it. I got to get a link to that woman that tells you what the history of Britain has been in connection to the United States and the world itself. And it isn't some tiny little island. All the money brokers all come through Britain. All your trade,
Right.
Britain had their hand in all of it. That's why do you think India and Pakistan stopped fighting? They could nuke each other.
Mm.
Trump cut their ties and their stranglehold that Britain still had over him and said,
Gotcha.
you deal directly with me now.
Gotcha.
So, greatness isn't whether you like the guy or not, right? I mean, I bet you Abraham Lincoln had things he could have been disliked for that we weren't exposed to. But I guarantee you there's things about Abraham Lincoln that even supporters of him wouldn't want to hear.
Sure.
Right?
Everybody has some issue.
But he did a great thing, didn't he?
He did. He did. Absolutely did. Yes.
And this president is doing more than all of them, I think. And unfortunately, he can't come right out and brag about it like I was pointing out earlier, even though he knew Schumer was in the Epstein files, even though he knew the big agitator, Hakeem Jeffries, was accusing him of being with Jeffrey Epstein. And he knew that Hakeem Jeffries was getting money from Jeffrey Epstein. Trump never spoke a word to it until it became public.
Right.
He didn't want to, in other words, he didn't fight back. He just let people accuse him of being an Epstein lover.
I got you.
So it's quite interesting.
It is. Very
how
much
he handles that shit and what he's doing with trade and how he's getting he's reorganizing world trade. That's why China can't really fight against us because he's going to put 158% tariffs on all of their shit. Mm-hmm. They almost had a fucking stroke. They almost passed out. They can't believe it. Their economy is crashing.
Yeah.
And how did Trump do that? You know how he was able to do that? Because all the countries that were supporting China and moving their products through China, because China's invested and China's putting military bases in their country, all of those countries said, we side with the United States.
Okay. Gotcha.
You see, so maybe we needed lithium from fucking China. We get it from everywhere else now. Right. And we're opening up our own lithium mines, and we're doing our own mining, and we're going to do.
And now we have like the largest lithium mines or reserves or something.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah. So what he's doing is genius, but it's not easy. Why do you think they've tried to kill him twice? More than that. Do you know there was a third attempt on his life in the Florida airport?
Yes, I heard that. I think it's been more than that.
When?
Yeah, they had a fucking sniper's perch in it. Listen,
I heard it. I never saw
sniper's perch. There was a sniper's perch in a stand of trees, and the stand of trees was in an industrial park. So it was just a flurry of trees. It wasn't a forest. It wasn't the woods. Mm-hmm. It was a stand of like a dozen or two trees, right? Someone built a sniper's nest up in there that was pointed to where Trump would get on and off Air Force One.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard about it. I just never saw anything on it. Absolutely. What do you think about the Charlie Kirk situation, Sorry?
I don't really pay attention. I've said before, I don't like Candace Owens.
Gotcha.
I don't like a lot of these talking heads because none of them provide solutions for the masses of people that watch them.
Right.
They're outrage dealers. They're sensationalists, and I can't be a part of that. I'm too much of a dick. I just won't compromise. I mean, that girl's got a huge audience, and she's making all that trouble about Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
A 30-06 round couldn't do that. Well, it was his grandfather's gun. For fuck's sakes, that ammunition could have been 30 years old. Right. That matters. That literally matters as to how much punch that shell's going to have when it's launched out of that gun. Because gunpowder degrades over time.
Yeah, it does.
How was the bullet? See, in other words, what they don't know, they fill in with hyperbolic bullshit. Mm-hmm. But you should know how old the fucking rounds were. He's got his grandfather's gun. When was the last time the grandfather used it? How old is that ammunition?
Right.
Well, what would you say if the round was new-ish?
Well, again, it's determined. I'd like to see the x-rays and what they found after the round was shot, but it ended up in his body.
Yeah, I don't think it was a 30-06. For whatever reason, I feel like it was that's my opinion, but
I don't think it was a 30-06. When you listen to the video, Twiz.
You got a lot of background noise, Twiz.
What is it?
The window.
Sounds like wind.
Yeah,
I'm walking.
Okay.
Wow. Look at a 30-06 when it fires. If you listen to the original clip, it sounds like an AR or an AK that's fired.
Right.
It sounds like a smaller round because when a 30-06 fires, if you're anywhere near it, it's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
The sound of that rifle is like no other. It's
I
brutally
think,
bad.
and I think from the things I've seen with that kind of stuff, I think it would have made a huge hole in him, not just that tiny little
No,
hole.
when a 30-06, look at a buddy of mine is, God rest he's dead. He was a police chief, Lee.
Mhm.
I went to camp my first time around firearms, and he shot a 55-gallon drum full of water. Okay, it was a rain barrel, and the bullet went in the size of the bullet, but it blew the whole back of the barrel open. It blew the steam out in the barrel. Just
right.
Now he was only about, I don't know, 50 feet from it. But again, for the results that we have, there's a lot of unanswered questions that nobody seems to even have common sense to ask or look into.
Right.
And they then come up with these like 30-06, absolutely not. And that's just not accurate. You don't know how old that ammunition was. You do know that he had his grandfather's 30-06.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a gun you shoot all the time. How old is the ammo? Is it 20, 30-year-old ammunition? Then that would make a lot of sense. Okay. And then, like I said in the beginning, and everybody barked me down, the neck wound is the entrance. That's not the exit.
Oh,
yeah, the exit would have been huge, but that only matters if it was his grandfather's gun that shot.
It was his grandfather's 30-06. The parents admitted.
No,
it.
that's what we are told, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's the gun that shot him.
But when you then again, I argue that when you listen to the round that's being fired at that school, it doesn't sound anything like a 30-06. The echo and the boom that gun makes.
Right.
Now go fire a 5.57 or go fire a
so
AK.
you're arguing that the gun that he used was his grandfather's 30-06, but they didn't shoot a 30. This is the whole point. It's not
right.
that gun.
I don't think the sound of it is a 30-06. I just don't. I'm not saying the wound couldn't be, but I'm not saying the wound couldn't be from a 30-06 either. I don't know. So I'm making the hypothesis by stating the sound of what you hear in the video does not sound anything like a 30-06.
I agree with that. Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I'm right. Right? And the fact that it went into his neck where you see the blood gush out of it is what I initially argued, and everybody was telling me I was wrong, even on Twitter. But that's what now the autopsy is arguing, that it went in and it hit his spinal cord and ricocheted. You know, people were saying that he had a vest on and they shot him in the fucking vest and it ricocheted.
He didn't have a vest on.
All these different stories, man.
I think from what I heard and then what I watched that it was possibly an AR with a 22 hollow point round that he was shot with. That's my opinion, of course, but
I agree with Melissa. We shouldn't have any unanswered questions, but you got all these unanswered questions because of all these sensationalists on the internet. They want to tell you what they think it is or what they believe happened. It's more belief than anything else. And that's what I tried to do to the Koberger proceedings. You can't expect everybody's a criminal until you can see that they're criminal. You just can't look at an object. You can't make a conclusion without evidence. Okay. And so I can't conclude that it wasn't the 30-06, but I can make the statement that in fact, if it is what they tell us, and you have to say it is because that's all we know, then it was his grandfather's gun and nobody is telling us anything more than that. And I researched, does the age of the gunpowder in a shell, does the gunpowder deteriorate over time? And it's all about how it's stored.
Right.
And you know, how many people have a fucking, their bullets held in a fucking airtight humidor? I mean,
sure.
Right. You stick them on a shelf in the garage. Right. Or in your fucking gun room. You throw them in a drawer.
If the ammunition was locked in the garage for the past 35 years and not shot through the gun, yeah, I get what you're saying. It would wear down. It won't be as strong. It won't be as.
It wouldn't have the explosive power because the gunpowder just wouldn't all fire off like that.
Right.
It's like having old matches. You ever try to light an old match and the head falls off?
Of course, yes.
Right. So I mean, everything over time deteriorates, folks. But I'm not saying that's the answer to what you saw. I'm just saying those questions should be answered and asked and answered. And I agree with what Melissa's saying. We shouldn't have any unanswered questions, but most of the reason we do,
right,
is because everybody comes out with these theories and conclusions, and these gun experts, and they get all of the information. It's fucking crazy.
yes, sir.
And so it makes it harder, and that's why people they got to believe one thing or the other. That we do to ourselves effectively what the government wants to do to us. We do it for them.
Good point. Very good point.
Right? I mean, you can't have propaganda unless there's unless the people engage in it. Right? That's the problem with global warming.
Absolutely.
Because you argued back against it, you gave it life where life never should have existed. You should just ignore it. But no. We all got to come up with our own research and our own counter arguments. And now that becomes the topic of the fucking day.
Right.
Global warming, solar panels, windmills,
which in my opinion doesn't even exist. That's just my opinion. So,
well, here's the thing: whether it exists or not, there ain't nothing you're going to do to change it, because ain't nobody going to accept no electricity.
Of course,
right? Who wants to live with no electricity? Anybody want to raise their hand? Yeah. So my thing is we harm ourselves because we allow these bullshit topics to get traction.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then even the officials don't know what the fuck to say. There's 88 different ways this guy was shot now.
Yeah.
Which one is true?
Right. Absolutely. What do you think, Twiz? What do you think he was shot with, and where from?
I don't know what he was shot with, but I definitely don't think it was his grandfather's gun. I watched a video the other day where this guy who owns a Mauser like that, like, took it apart and like tried to put it in a bag, and like it wouldn't even fit. So how did he get off the roof with it?
It didn't fit in the bag. It stuck out of the bag.
Yeah.
It did stick out of the bag when he climbed off.
Yeah, Eddie did that one time on my channel. He has that. Took it apart, broke it down, and he said he struggled with that being what it was.
Yeah. But it can be done.
Sure.
And
I'm not buying. I'm not buying their story.
Here's something else that came out the other day. I should have saved the clip. The gentleman in charge of Charlie Kirk's security did an interview, and they asked if they could put people on that rooftop.
Right.
And the local security at the college told him we got that taken care of. The same thing that happened to Trump in Pittsburgh or in Pennsylvania. It's the exact same fucking thing that happened to Trump. People on the scene wanted to cover a rooftop, and they were told by the people that were in charge of the scene, it's already taken care of. And there was nobody on that fucking rooftop to protect Charlie.
No, nobody at all. That's what
same thing happened to Trump. I forget the name of the town he was in. Exact same fucking thing happened to Trump.
PA?
Yep.
Yeah. I agree.
There were
Butlerville or something.
What would you say, Twiz?
It was like Butlerville or something.
Butler, PA, yeah. Yeah, just like they said they didn't have enough police officers to be able to work that whole thing for Charlie. What? Why?
But then also, too, when you look at that was an inside job. They've all been inside jobs. I think we can agree on that. Somebody just didn't wake up Monday morning, get a gun, and go shoot somebody.
Of course.
Right? That kid was granted access. That kid was familiar with it. That kid, we know, flew drones over the place before anybody was there. They had eyes on him.
Yeah.
And then the kid ended up on the roof with a gun and shot at Trump. And Trump didn't turn his head; he'd be dead. So that's true. The thing with Charlie Kirk, that roof was brought up in pre-briefings, and the guy in charge of Charlie's security, which is who Candace Owens keeps accusing of malfeasance.
Yeah.
Was told that was taken care of, that roof.
Because of the hand signals and all that shit you're talking about?
No. You know, before an event like that goes on, your security meets with local law enforcement. And in this case, with campus security, right?
Right.
And they were told that was already covered. It was taken care of. And that's exactly reminiscent of what they said about the Trump thing. Now, the unique thing with the Trump shooting was even where the Secret Service or the FBI, their counter snipers were placed in that building,
Mm-hmm.
They were placed behind what was like a firewall.
Right.
A lot of people don't realize even metal buildings, there's concrete walls that separate one section to the next.
Yeah. Yeah.
They do that in apartment buildings and condos.
They
right?
sure do. That helps
And-
to keep if there's an apartment fire, it keeps from the next door to burning down.
That's what it's supposed to do. And then that firewall stuck out about 3 feet beyond the outside wall.
Mhm.
So these guys couldn't even look around that. They should have been in the room, one room over, and then they would have caught everything. But they weren't. They were positioned in a room that obscured their vision to that roof.
Okay.
Okay, and so they couldn't really see the guy on. That's why they didn't shoot the guy. Not only that, they were called out of that room before the shooting took place. So there was nobody in the fucking room to even look at that roof.
Gotcha.
So again, the whole thing is just fucking clusterfuck. And there's no question that there's evil energy out there, evil people
Sure.
that are in places of authority that got Charlie killed, tried to kill Trump, and whatever important assassination that we've seen in our lifetimes,
Yeah.
right?
Do you
How
think
did
that
I
the
get
guy-
It's the same with like it's
Even
the same with
Lincoln.
like 9/11 and everything. They always have something going on to cause chaos where the people that should respond can't respond.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Exactly
Yeah.
right.
There's always a look over here and the smoke and mirrors when that's actually going on over there. 100%. Yes.
Yep. Well, even Lincoln, how the fuck did you get into the same places? There was no guard outside that door.
Right.
Where'd the
Right.
guard go?
Yeah. Good
Right?
point. Good
I
point.
mean, just think about that. You just ended a war with the South. They had many attempts on Lincoln's life already. Okay.
Did
And
you
that
ever
was
hear
one
the
of the
story
plans.
where I can't remember exactly what it was, but like Lincoln's son or brother or something saved John Wilkes Booth's son at like a train station?
I heard that story.
Yeah, it's a small,
I
but
did. I heard that story. I can't remember if it was his brother or his son or something, but you're right. I've heard that story before too.
But let me just say this: everything that we're discussing and so much more has been being done to this nation by people within the nation to destroy this nation. Because you're the only fucking people, whether you guys want to accept it or not, you're the only unique nation ever to exist. And it doesn't seem like even Americans have any conscious understanding of that. We are the only nation of our kind ever in the history of mankind.
The majority of people sure don't, and they know that, and they use it against us.
And they're doing everything they can to demoralize, to strip us of our fucking identity, to think that we're sexual things. All these drugs being brought in, all of this shit, all the corruption in Idaho, the corruption in DC, the corruption in New York, and every other fucking area where there's corruption is an organized fucking effort against you. And we're not really in a great position.
Right.
Right.
Oh, here it is. Twit. John Wilkes Booth's brother saved the life of Abraham Lincoln's son. That's the story. I knew.
Yeah,
it was
I
something
wouldn't.
like that.
That's kind of funny, huh?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Why?
Edwin
Son
Booth.
doesn't have to be.
Yeah, Edwin Booth, the brother of the U.S. President Abraham Lincoln's assassin, John Wilkes, saved the life of Robert Todd Lincoln, the president's son.
Yeah.
That's from a near-death experience. Robert's rescuer was Edwin Booth, the brother of John Wilkes Booth. The latter would go on to kill the president in 1865. Edwin was himself a renowned stage actor who would be overshadowed by the infamy. Yeah.
See,
That's wild.
what Meany is saying is true. And this, just so you know, this is because all of the corrupt criminals that are doing the things they're doing, stripping us of our tax dollars, paying $16 billion for a fucking high-speed rail that's only 100 feet long.
Right.
Okay? All of this shit to make you hate this country.
Yeah.
It's exactly what they're doing. That's why so many people walk away, try to go along to get along.
Sure.
Because they feel powerless. And here we have, for the first time in our modern history, the capacity to communicate with each other, to set common goals, and to act in unity. And it's almost like we're all fucking ignorantly blind to the power of the internet.
Yes.
I repeat myself on this all the fucking time. This is the platform that can change the world.
Right.
It's this platform that changed your world and turned everything against you.
Right.
And it's the same platform that you can use to straighten it out.
Exactly.
You want to solve the problems in Idaho? Get involved. You know, stop worrying about whether it's politics or it's true crime. It's all fucking politics. You can't separate the judicial branch from the executive or the legislative.
Sure.
Okay, and you can't let the judicial branch trump the fucking legislative or the executive. The president has Article 2 powers. None of these judges should have made any of these rulings, all of which have been overturned, stopping him from doing all the stuff he's doing. He's bound by law to do the things that he's doing. He's not doing it because he's a prick or because he's got orange hair or he don't like you. He's doing it because he's sworn oath to uphold the Constitution. He is the top law enforcement officer of the nation. If your city has sanctuary status for illegal immigrants, he's behooven to go find them and get them out and hold the fucking officials accountable that are protecting these illegal immigrants. That's his fucking job. It's got nothing to do with liking Hispanics or not liking Hispanics. It's got nothing to do with race or color or creed. It's got nothing to do with rich or poor. It's the way your country's laws are fucking written. And you elected a person, whether it be him or Biden or Obama or Bush, their job was solely to execute on the fucking laws of this country. He's the first president to do that in our lifetime. And people are confused. Oh, I don't like the guy. Well, you gotta fucking like the guy. Speed limit says 55, not 90. Go fucking 55 or get a ticket.
Right.
Right? There's 17,000 truck drivers out there that never passed a license for a CDL and are illegal immigrants from India, from Pakistan, from fucking South America. That fucking jerk off Newsom gave all those licenses. And you know how many people are killed by tractor trailers? They don't report. It's insane, bro. And for all of us, we sit back and we hope someone else is going to fix our problems. Meanwhile, we've got more power than even Trump himself with this internet. And we don't have to be violent. We don't have to be hateful. Just push for what's right. What do you think, Twiz?
I think the majority of people are too stupid to ever come together like that.
Yeah, see, I don't accept that.
You don't have to accept it.
Do you think it's stupid, or do you think it's that they have a fear to do that?
Both.
Well, they're all willing to listen to it all.
Yeah.
And you know, the funny thing about people is a herd will move in the direction in which it's pointed.
Sure.
Okay, but this is the whole point, is that it's been proven through tests that people follow what they think is authority over them.
Yeah.
So yes, they would follow the herd if the herd had authority over them. But right now they're following who they think they have authority over them, which is what they've been brainwashed to do, which is like the government, the cops, and all this bullshit.
Right. That I agree with too wholeheartedly. You even said the same thing, Sard, in your own way. I do agree with that.
But you can rewrite the rules to the factual basis of the rule, as long as people, and that's what I mean. When you see a guy like Joe Rogan, the guy's got more followers than anybody in human history. What is he doing to solve problems with the world?
Right.
I don't need to be told over and over again.
Nothing.
About what fucking Trump did or didn't do, or what fucking Biden did or didn't do, or what fucking Idaho did or I don't need to hear that.
Right.
The guy's got a platform where he could literally, like Elon, what did he do? He went down and put in his own time to try to straighten out this government. Right? Well, what's Joe Rogan doing? What's Tucker Carlson doing? What's people at CNN doing? What are these people doing?
Making money.
I mean, Rogan does have people on his podcast occasionally that are truth tellers, you know?
Yeah.
But we don't need to hear the truth. We need to know how to execute the truth.
Yeah.
Right? You say people can be led and they go in the direction that they're shown. I agree with that. But there were any of these people with a voice showing them which way to go.
I mean, I don't know, because like you were saying earlier, it'd be really nice if Trump would come out and say this stuff, you know, publicly. And I agree. I was thinking that, especially about like the Snap situation recently. It's odd that he isn't.
Mm-hmm. Especially considering that he doesn't normally have any fear of anything. So why isn't it?
Why does he got to do everything?
Well, I mean, he's the one that people
he also has the information, you know, like
right.
Yeah, but you don't have a focused audience that can do anything with it. I mean, that's what I mean by Joe Rogan and all these other people. And these are brilliant people, but they're in it for the money. I don't have a problem with that. But what they're not understanding, because there's nobody out there pushing them, is action for truth. will get him another 20 million followers.
Well, I think he also, maybe he's not overtly threatened, but at the same point in time, if you're a big name and you tell the truth, like you kind of end up like Charlie Kirk. So
Yeah.
Well, that may be, but that's that with with the big responsibility comes big risk. But that's no reason not to do something.
yeah, I mean, I agree with you.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
Can I say something else too? I don't think they're willingly making the choice not to do something. This is the catch-22. Like you said, people follow. And Joe created something that people are following. Tucker, you can name a whole bunch of famous Megyn Kelly, whoever is on the left, whoever they might be. They're all doing this particular thing that nets a lot of income for them. And it's this selling outrage and drama and chaos. And rather than saying, like I start with the user agreement, because I think that's the most unifying thing. User agreements must not include your surrendering your own personal data to that company. And if it does, then we need to know who they are. That won't change it. We move on. Go somewhere else, right?
And we should be able to opt out, and like they can't do it anyways, which they would, but they should be fined or jailed or stoned to death or something.
Share from it.
I agree with that.
From it. How about profit share? If I agree to opt in, and advertisers are going to buy my name between them, there should be a profit sharing in there for me.
Sure.
Right? Because if I pay 10 cents for Twizz's name and I'm not going to sell it for 10, I'm going to sell it for 20.
Or 20, right? Yeah.
Dude, I get these emails all the fucking time from these goddamn places. I've never signed up for these email lists, right? And I opt out every time. They're like, give us 10 days. I'm like, well, hey, that's bullshit because this could happen instantly. You just click a fucking switch and then I don't get any of those emails again. But then a couple months later, I get emails from the same fucking people.
Yeah, because
people are selling my email around.
Yes.
And they're selling it because you opted out, which proves to them you're an active email. You're worth more money now.
I'm about to make a new email.
Well, you got to block them all as spam.
Dude, no, listen, I unsubscribe and I block them and I still get those motherfuckers.
You're not listening to me. Your unsubscribing proves that you're a valued real person.
No, I understand I understand. And I've actually heard them talk about this. I can't remember if it was Facebook or Google or something like that, but like they put out these unsubscribe if you don't want these emails anymore. And if you unsubscribe, they hit you harder with them because they know that you're real. I understand the game.
Yeah.
I've tried it both ways and I still get them. I'm just going to make a new email.
Well, I'm saying that issue is an issue that's solvable. It's a nonviolent issue. It crosses party lines. Doesn't matter who you fucking vote for or love or hate. Do you want you want the harassment from these advertisers to stop? Right. And I say go after X. Elon would lead the way. If he realized that there was pressure put on his company, with millions of users or thousands were going to leave if he didn't stop collecting their identity. Right? If you could take my identity, give me your son's.
Yeah. Right.
He ain't gonna do that, right? And he shouldn't do that. And I guarantee you, Elon would if his company was brought to the attention by tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of fucking subscribers. Change your user agreement. Delete all known knowledge of who I am and where I live and everything else.
Do you want to know? You want to know why none of this will change, at least anytime soon?
Because there's nobody out there pushing for it with a platform big enough to make it change.
I don't even think. I think somebody could try and it still wouldn't do it because the majority of people just don't care. Have you ever seen the Snowden movie?
Yes.
The what?
The
Snowden movie, but people, you can't.
No, but listen. Snowden. There's a scene in there when he's talking to his boss, and his boss says, "American people won't care. They just want to feel like like they're safe. As long as they are safe, they don't care." And it's true. It's just human nature. And they exploit it.
But human nature is exploitable when there's no other alternative.
I don't know. Okay. I mean, even look at like the Revolutionary War, right? Only like 3% of the people fought. I'm sure there was a higher percentage that like helped them, but
every war, there's a small percentage of the population that does the fighting.
I know,
even World War II.
For sure. Well, for one, you could only have like half of it because they only let men.
Well, no, but let me just point out that everybody was supporting the war and the fact that they went to work every day, whether they had a gun in their hand or not. You're supporting but again, there's the alternative for people, and this is where I say, like it or not, this is where you're brainwashed, and so many like you are brainwashed that you've already concluded that there's nothing you could do about it because nobody else is going to.
I'm not
But
brainwashed.
yeah,
I have little hope because I think the vast majority of people are fucking stupid and useless. It's not a brainwash. I just look at humans and I think people again, it's not brainwash. I think people are fucking stupid and they're not going to do anything. It's a terrible attitude. You're 100% correct.
It's terrible attitude that was given to you by others.
I think it's no, it wasn't. I just think it's the real one. I try to be realistic.
It's such a common statement, but how can you not be stupid if you're not educated? In other words, you can't really determine what's really going to happen if a movement like that started against user agreements because it's never happened and people just aren't educated about it. But you get someone like Joe Rogan to jump on the fucking horse and start riding it, and he'll drag fucking millions of people with him. That's why I don't listen to these talking heads like Candace Owens and these other people. They're not there to fix something. They're there to enrich themselves. Whether they're aware of what they're doing is wrong or right is not on the table here. They're just doing what you're saying. They're stupid. They're following the herd. But they don't have to be stupid. It's a choice. And the only choice people have is to be stupid because there's no alternative being offered.
Yeah, but look, like we're aware of things, right? Nobody told us to be aware of things. So what's like they're like it's not a choice for people because like they could see what we see, you know. I don't.
But they never look to what we see. They just click accept and move on with their life, not understanding what that unconditional acceptance means. They give user agreements that are just fucking 88 million words. No one's going to read that. They know there's a consequence for agreeing, but they need to use the software to run their business. My point is there's nobody out there. I'm telling you, if somebody could give me an hour with Joe Rogan, and I guarantee you he could change the momentum of user agreements. That man all by himself could.
Yeah, but do you think he would?
Sure he would.
I don't think he would because he depends on all the companies doing it to make money.
No, he doesn't. No, it's word of mouth that drives Rogan's show. Rogan's show. Where have you seen an advertisement for Joe Rogan?
Come on.
I don't word of mouth.
I don't really get advertisements like that, so I wouldn't know. But I would think that it's not like that. It's just pushed through algorithms.
Yeah. Word of mouth and algorithms and stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, everybody fights so hard to argue that it can't be done without ever having the experience of trying to do it. That's the amazing thing. You're judging a group of people that have never had that alternative offered to them or explained to them. So you got 350 million people here. Maybe there's a million like me. You could be one of them. But the bottom line is everybody says it can't be done. But nobody's ever tried. It's like you can't go to the moon. The fuck we can't.
Well, I think user agreements might happen or could happen.
It would be a start
because everybody hates them, right? But like
that's why I
make that same argument about GameStop stocks a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, but again, the whole motive is to give people freedom, and to show people freedom comes from you being able to make a choice. That's what America is about. And these companies are blanketly taking your data and enriching themselves with it. And if they're going to do that, then A, either you get a cut of the pie, or B, they don't get to keep your fucking data. I don't think the stupidest American wouldn't argue against that. But again,
they would. They absolutely would. Because some people are going to be like, well, I want them to give my, because what if like there's a cool advertisement of a product I don't know about?
Yikes. See, but I'm saying that's what I mean. You're one of the people that make doing it difficult.
No, I mean, I'd absolutely try it with you. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like the people are stupid. I don't think it would ever change.
You can't. Listen. I got that picture I put up here, right? Where there's a million people in a crowd and I'm standing by myself and I'm saying, yeah you're all wrong.
Right.
Okay. So you got to be able to take a stand. That's one of the things I decided yesterday. That's kind of where I want to bring a stream. If I got to shut this one down and come up with a whole new name and everything, because that's something that we absolutely can do, and it's an accomplishable goal. Is it a big goal? Yeah, but there's unlimited resources of human beings on the internet already. So it's a possible goal. And I think that if you could get 10 or 20,000 people to start playing that fucking song, I think user agreements would be modified. I really do. Because you're going to get more and more and more people involved in it. Right now, the issues is Trump, 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 and Trump.
That's an interesting
right?
point. Yeah.
But how can Trump fix everything if there isn't a group of us out there pushing for things that need to be fixed? And the corporatization of this country is going to be the ultimate collapse of the United States. You can't have all your businesses run by corporations. You just can't have it.
That's how it happens everywhere.
Yeah.
Right?
That's one of the ways.
Societies always collapse.
Doesn't need to be, though. See, that's the thing, is it just doesn't need to
But
be.
see, then that just goes to human nature, because human nature goes in circles.
No,
it's all a cycle.
That's the worst excuse ever, blaming it on human nature or stupidity.
I don't think it's an excuse. I just think it's reality.
You know, 50 years ago, if you told people you could carry around a device in your hand and talk to somebody in India, they'd be like, "Who wants to do that? That's stupid."
Right.
No, I mean, just think about it, Twiz. What would they have said to you? It's stupid. I don't want to talk to nobody in fucking India.
Exactly. I mean, that makes sense.
What do I give a fuck what somebody does in Texas? But here's the point, though. As time evolved and as people became more accustomed to these technological things, look what we're doing with it. And all I'm saying is, with the power of it, there's many things we could change. I said earlier, you weren't here. Where are all the streamers talking about the 300,000 missing kids that crossed our border?
Oh, I was here.
Okay, I didn't know if you were hearing that, but I'm just saying, there's no streams talking about. You want to talk about true crime? There's nothing more true than that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the algorithms will let you talk about that, but I heard that a few years ago that something like 80% of the women that come across the border are getting raped. The kids are going missing.
Yeah. Right.
I don't think we were the number one trafficking country in the world, because Ukraine probably, well, maybe just because they don't have a population anymore, that they lost that title, but we were probably up there.
Listen, Trump is doing everything he can politically to save the country. But we, the people, have to understand our place in the whole fucking system. And we just don't seem to understand that a government of the people and by the people and for the people means the people have to be involved. And you have an access today that no fucking generation in history has had. Communication with all of you.
I think human beings, again, at large, are kind of like electricity and water, where they like search for like the path of least resistance. And like most people aren't going to want that authority. And then that's how you end up with the psychos in charge.
Because when you take on that authority, you have to take on accountability along with it. And people do not want that when something goes down.
I think what Charlie was doing is an example of the point I'm trying to make. What Charlie Kirk did when it came to his understanding of spirituality and religion, and the amount of youth that he captured, is stunning. And all I'm saying is there's an example of how a few people, one person or one bunch that joined with him, changed a section of our society in big ways. And the same thing that proves that stupidity isn't permanent. Stupidity, can be fixed.
No, I think you just get the stupid people to follow you.
No, well, then, I mean, that includes all of us then to be stupid.
Twiz.
Right? No. I mean, here you are. Welcome aboard, stupid. Ticket, please.
I was thinking about this a few months ago, like the Revolutionary War, like I bet it wasn't that like the people back then actually like wanted liberty. They were just told they wanted liberty and they thought it was a good idea, so they went along with it, but like they didn't actually care. And then over time they convinced the people that they don't want liberty, and now we're like slaves to the system, like.
Well, but the idea that you got here, and that the mass has been brought to this point is additional proof that they could be brought to any point.
Yeah, but again, my point would be that they're still stupid. They're just following.
Who are you to judge, man? Come on. Can you relate to Roger Penrose?
I'm God.
You're God. Not God all fucked up, maybe.
Roger, is that the old man you were talking about earlier?
Yeah, the genius guy.
Yeah, I think he'd be really fun to talk to, just from what you've said, because
Yeah.
You and I have talked about this before, how like time doesn't exist. It's just a man-made concept. It's just
Right.
a measuring tool. It's
But
kind
he
of like measuring feet compared to centimeters. It's
Yeah,
a
exactly.
man-made way to measure something.
But the way Einstein determined time to exist was through entropy. And he explains how entropy is in no way, shape, or form connected to time and reality. It may be in our minds, but the universe doesn't respond to time at all.
Oh,
And
no.
there is no space-time. It's just energy moving from one form to another, from one state to another. That's what's happening. Now, we can place a measurement on that, but that doesn't make the measurement real in anything more than our own minds.
Nope.
The universe doesn't have a clock,
Nope.
right?
Yeah, but how would you measure the universe, Sarge?
Well, again, that's how we do it, for us to understand. Remember, I was talking earlier about that's why computers can't.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, they don't have the capacity to understand what they're doing. They have the mathematical power to come to a solution or an answer.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
And even that's based
it.
on who programs it.
Right.
Well, it depends on who programs the algorithm, but also what data is available for it to come to these conclusions.
Yeah.
All man-made, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
So there it is. It is what it is. And that guy Penrose, though, has shown that what cannot be computationally proven or understood is the capacity to understand.
Right.
And computers can't understand. They can't computate understanding. You can't do it through math. And that's what he showed. That's something math can't prove right or wrong. It can't prove it at all.
Yeah, because then
it's a big math machine.
It's based on belief, like everything.
Right.
Look at Falcon the Ripper.
That's a good point.
I haven't heard from that guy in 6 years.
Who?
Falcon the Ripper.
Oh.
He said his middle name is Trump. He's got a signed book from Trump.
Nice.
He does, I think, if I remember.
So did something happen today where Trump is cleared from being on the island or something?
Trump was never on the island. There was never any. It's just the news media saying he was. There's no proof he was. As a matter of fact,
well, they have that email from Epstein.
Yeah.
That says that Trump's a dog that don't bark.
No, that he was on the island and he spent time with the victim.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know if that's Epstein's email or if that's somebody interpreting it.
Well, I mean, see, that's the thing is like, I mean, I've seen the email, right? Or an email that says that and it claims it's from Epstein, but like, can we believe anything, especially after like the Steele dossier? But liberals are dumb.
Well, the Steele dossier, just so you know, is full of real life crime with different names applied.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they just said that Trump did everything, right?
The accusations of pissing on Obama's bed are true. It just wasn't done with Trump. The accusation of a Rostov deal between Carter Page, Trump's campaign, and Russia is a true deal, but it had nothing to do with Trump and his campaign. It had everything to do with the Bidens and the Ukraines. Okay? Hunter Biden was involved in that deal. That's a real crime. Everything they alleged in that document is real. They just labeled everything as pointing at Trump. That's what they do. They do something
kind of like Idaho. Like kids got murdered, but they said Brian did it.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's a good comparison.
Yeah, and that's exactly what these leftists do. I mean, they take over your universities, check. They then infiltrate government, the justice system, check. Right? And they get in bed with all their criminal cartels and mafias, check.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then they go after anybody that's trying to stop them. Trump, check.
How did they ever get into power though?
But slowly,
like why did people let it happen?
Because it happens in a time and places over time. I mean, this has been going on since after the 60s.
They don't see it. They don't see what the future is going to hold.
You don't see it creeping up on you like that. It's like putting a frog in a pan and turning the heat on low.
Yeah.
Right? And they shut down the guy that was hunting Russians back in the 50s or 60s. Who was that guy? He got a little crazy there.
I know who you're talking about. I can't remember. It's been.
He went after the Hollywood because Hollywood is fucking rife with communists.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. I know who you're talking about too, but I can't remember his name.
It was a commissioner. I
have to
forget
look
what
it
it
up.
was called there.
Shit.
It was the
We
forget.
talked about this before a long time ago.
Because like Oppenheimer, they didn't want Oppenheimer to be a big name after he
Right.
created the
Right.
bomb because they thought he was a communist.
Yep.
Right. Well, he was against the bomb after he created it. That was why
Yeah.
he believed that Russia and other people should have access to the bomb. That was why Oppenheimer was considered an enemy. But in the end, there was some truth to his point. That one piece of ultimate power shouldn't be held by just one nation,
hmm
because now you got world domination, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly what they were fighting to end.
Monopolizing, and therefore, in turn, it doesn't. Yeah.
Right.
Agreed.
And the same thing like in Europe. You're seeing the war with Ukraine. It's got nothing to do with Ukraine or fucking. It's the Europeans that want that war. They've always done that. How do you think World War II started? Everybody thinks that Hitler started the war, and he didn't. That war never ended after World War One. And then it's crazy. The truth of world history is kind of shocking.
Mhm.
And we're never going to get told that, because the truth becomes whatever the victors tell you it is, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I was gonna say this earlier because you were talking about like England, right? I met this cool black dude like 10 years ago, and
Mhm.
he was telling me how when the Revolutionary War ended, we didn't win or anything like that, right? We signed a treaty,
Yeah.
and in that treaty it says every 80 years, something like that, that we owe a debt of interest to the Bank of England.
Yeah.
And around every 80 years, ever since then, there's a big conflict that happens in America because that interest is due.
And they don't
And
want
80 years after that was when the Civil War happened. Because I want to say that Civil War was about slavery and shit like that. But he was saying that the Civil War was more about money because the North was poor and the South was rich. The North went to the South and said, hey, give us some money so we can pay this debt. The South said, kick rocks.
right.
There may
And
be
there's
something to that, but before you go further into that, I want to introduce the cocksucker from Southern California.
Fucking roofer.
You fucking dickhead.
Fucking punk.
Were you still alive? I can't believe you're sucking air, you old motherfucker.
Fuck that, man. I'm still sucking air. And my fucking charger sucks more air than that fucking plastic vet of yours.
Yeah, you're fucking charged.
Ooh.
Oh, that's garbage.
Now you guys gotta go to Vegas this weekend and race in F1 or something.
Yeah.
Take
Listen,
your
I
cars out
gotta-
on the track.
I got a video of a Hellcat racing me on my expressway there, Falcon. I smoked it like a bad fucking joint.
Yeah, too bad it sounds like a pinball machine when you're driving it, man. It's more squeaks and fucking rattles than a fucking pinball machine.
Oh, there are squeaks and rattles in it.
My car's tight like a limo.
Yeah, like a fucking limo. You need a fucking limo. You need a hearse, you old fuck. With a supercharged engine and a fucking race to the cemetery to get him underground before he wakes the fuck up.
I still have my charger, man.
It isn't even a Hemi charger, right?
Yeah, it's a Hemi charger.
What year is it?
SRT 17.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Well, I was
SRT
thinking it
with
was
a
an old
full-bar
one.
performance ECU in it.
It's the 4-door.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah, it's charged.
Yeah, it's the pussy charge. It's not the Hellcat Red Eye.
I'm only a half a second slower than that.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah. I got a race. I got a video of the Hellcat Red Eye in a drag race, and I got another video of a Hellcat Red Eye on a roll on the expressway.
And what year is your vet there, Sarge?
1980.
80. Okay. I knew it was something back then.
Yeah. It weighs 3,000 pounds.
I
Got
thought
just
you had
under
a new
700
one. I
horse.
thought you bought a new one.
I did. I brought the C8.
You sold that though a couple
I
years ago.
sold
right?
that. I made $7,000 on that car.
What I thought. Yeah.
This
And
guy
then he bought this
wait,
old
wait,
one and
just
resto modded it.
so people in the audience know who this person is. He helped found a website on Skype, and it was called Skype Assholes. And the whole purpose of the site was to fuck with people and troll.
Well, we're doing that on Discord, right? As we
That explains
right now.
something that I can get why you'd be interested in that, Sarge.
We're on
Oh, yeah.
Discord now. I sent you the link. Yeah, we troll the dweebs on Discord, man.
There
It's
you go.
endless. It's endless fun. Endless.
Well, I'm in StreamYard. That's why I didn't click that link.
Hey, Karma.
Personally, I think that's where the CIA gets all these kids to blame for these crimes is on Discord.
Mhm. I've heard that before. That's funny.
Those
Yeah.
kids
Well,
are
like-
products of pollution and a bad diet, man. They're effed in the head. What are the rules here? Can you cuss?
There was that
I
grocery
don't
store shooter in New York a few years ago, where when the story first came out, is that there was like 10 people in some Discord group, 7 of them were FBI agents, telling this kid how to do it.
Yes.
Yes. Listen, I was watching TV the other night. My Gunsmoke. There's 21 fucking seasons with 900 episodes. Anyway, there's this new drug for ADD for children. And the side effects, when they read the side effects, they're so horrific. You might as well just put a gun to your child's head and kill him.
Jesus.
The worst
Yeah.
side effects you'd ever heard in your life for ADHD. Death.
Well, I mean, Adderall and shit isn't
Way
much better.
worse, bro. When you listen to this commercial and you hear the side effects, if you give this pill to your parent, you should lose that child.
What is it called?
Jason or something like that.
Jason? Okay.
JCM or something like that. But the side effects are not only fucking physical damage to your organs and immediate death, but also psychological dramas and fucking
Jesus Christ.
the side effects are worse. I grew up with ADHD. I'm fine.
Yeah, man.
But this drug is so bad. There's no drug I've ever listened to side effects on that comes close to this, except for the one that said you could die with a infection of the perineum. You know what that is, Falcon?
Your butthole.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that
That's
area between your dick and your ass. That's the perineum.
That's
And that gets infected and you're dead.
it's a diabetic
Sounds like a bad way to
medication.
go. Sounds like a
Right.
real
So
bad
like
way to go.
if you're on a low carb, low sugar diet, that's
Yeah.
when that comes into effect, right? My mom got prescribed that a few years ago, and the doctor didn't even know that could happen, and she was on a low carb diet. So my mom told the doctor about that shit.
Yeah. But this drug for ADHD is so bad that when you hear the side effects, you want to find the drug company and burn it down.
Well,
And
I
it
think
was
there's
approved-
about,
it was-
there's about
it's been a-
150 million people on Discord with side effects. Let me tell you.
And it's been approved by the FDA at this point.
They don't give a shit. They're about money.
That's true. That is.
We should have learned that a few years ago.
Yeah.
It's worse than someone asked in the chat. The side effects of this drug is worse than anything you'll ever hear in a drug commercial. Worse than any, and it's for ADHD.
Jesus.
Smack your kid in the back of the head and give him some tools.
Yeah.
Find out what he's interested in and grow that. Okay.
Crazy.
Well, for
Unbelievable.
one, they need to do a better job at diagnosing kids with ADHD.
Big time,
Because
big time.
if you're just hyper, they say you have ADHD, right?
Yeah,
Like
that's my issue.
when I got diagnosed, I got a brain scan done, and there's no disputing my symptoms.
Yeah. I was
Like-
told I have ADD when I was probably 21, and I never took a medication for it, and I've been fine. I have no use for that. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Here's another thing too that always drives me nuts. There's tardive dyskinesia. You guys have heard of that? Have you heard of that, Falcon?
No.
Involuntary muscle movements, so your hand could just start flying. You can't stop it. Okay?
Yeah.
It's incurable, right? Well, tardive dyskinesia is created from taking antidepressants. So here's some motherfucker lost his whole family in a plane crash. He's depressed.
Mm-hmm.
They prescribe him some antidepressant, and then he suffers tardive dyskinesia for the rest of his fucking life. What's more depressing? Losing your family or losing your family and getting tardive dyskinesia,
Of course.
Yeah.
right? So you didn't help this motherfucker with your antidepressant drugs. You made his life even worse. You have head twitches, leg twitches, foot twitches, fingers.
These people don't care. And for one, I think a lot of these side effects are done intentionally, but they don't care
I agree.
because
with
they'll
you.
just prescribe you with another medication and make
Yeah,
money
man, I
off
don't
it
do them
twice.
doctors, bro. I don't do any of them doctors.
keeps
man.
big pharma growing 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone's asking about OxyContin and stuff. The side effects of that. Oh, also it threatens. It's an addictive drug. It's controlled by feds for distribution. That's another side effect of this fucking this ADHD drug.
Mm,
Highly addictive. Well, that in itself should disqualify it from being given to children.
agreed.
yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, we live in a crazy fucking existence, boy.
And like Twiz said, they don't give a fuck at all. It's about how much money that you can put in their pockets. That's all they care about.
How much did Purdue make off of selling OxyContin and shit? And then how much were they fined?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
right.
just-
Not enough.
Not
They
enough.
still made a fat fucking profit. They don't care.
It was like what,
Hey.
8 or 9 billion, right? I think.
Yep. Yep.
Falcon, why don't you take your fucking speedboat out into the Gulf of America and see what happens?
Right.
Go for a high speed run.
I'll make sure I bring a fucking fishing pole. Let me tell you.
You better bring more than
At
a
least
fucking
one.
fishing pole.
Yeah, but they got to see at least one fishing pole, so at least I can claim I was a fisherman, right?
That's fucking awesome what he's doing. And when he's asked, the media asks him if he's going to declare war. He goes, well, I'm not going to do that. What would he going to do? You just kill him.
Oh, they're just fishermen. Yeah, they got three $75,000 Mercury, 400 racing engines on there, right? They're just little fishermen.
Yeah, you need 1,500 horsepower to cross the pond.
Right, yeah, you need $200,000 worth of motors, right?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
That's not even counting the drugs on board, right?
They want to attack Trump for killing innocents on board the boat.
All they ever seem to have is bales and drums.
Right.
Yet they're fishermen, right? They're fishermen.
Yeah. And when they notice anything amiss, they start throwing their cargo overboard because, that's the fish they caught. And they're afraid the guy in the helicopter is going to steal their fish. Holy fuck, man. It's out of control. What do you think about your buddy Trump this time around?
He's next to George Washington, the greatest president in American history.
Fucking guy's doing his job this time.
We got Super Trump. We got Super Trump. The only raw deal we got is we got 25 million fucking beaners. All right, that's the only raw part about getting that stolen election. All right, but in return we got Super Trump with a super cabinet.
Yeah,
nobody's ever seen before. Nobody's ever seen that kind of camaraderie and that kind of motivation on a cabinet. Nobody's ever seen anything close.
I agree. No, I've never seen it either.
They're all on the same page, and they all love each other. They all like each other a lot.
Yeah, I don't think any of us have ever seen that.
Yeah, every department, everybody get points from the Department of Education, everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They're all like this prime. They're the best athletes of their sport.
Yeah.
Right.
And they all get along. They're all focused. There's focus. There's no conflict.
How about firing generals because they're fat and they can't do the push-ups they expect the troops to do?
It's so good. I mean, I can't imagine, even if you hate the son of a bitch, why would anything other than Trump is boring. I worry about when his term is over, because it's going to be like somebody poking a hole in a beach ball, man. This whole country's just going to deflate.
No, you get his partner in there.
I know you get JD in there, but it's still not. It's not going to be. You're not going to have that type of authority and leadership.
You're not going to need it because he did in 10 months what nobody's ever done in all the history of the country. He's got 3 years left, right?
I got to be honest. I'm making money so quick, I can't really even keep track of it.
Yeah, my shit. I haven't looked at it today. My shit's. I don't think I.
We had a down week. The market dropped about 6%. All right, it was a nice little drop. It may go down further. I don't know, but I've never seen ever in my life in a climate, a wealth creating period like this. If you make the right moves in the next 5 years, you're going to make a shit ton of money. It's going to be one of those chances in life. We all get 2 or 3. This is going to be one of them.
Listen, Falcon, I retired. I just turned 60, and I retired. I'm turning my business, selling it over to my help for a nominal fee, and that's it. I'm done working. Yeah, enough money. How much is enough, right? Yeah. So I'm sitting pretty. I owe nothing to nobody, and I've got a big hunk of investment.
Well, it's just you got the stars are aligning. All right, you got AI, robotics, quantum computing, autonomous driving, drone warfare, the resurgence of nuclear power, all converging at once under a low tax, low regulatory environment.
Yeah,
it's the perfect fucking storm.
It is. It is. For anybody listening, what he's telling you is 100% true. And you're going to have trillions of dollars invested into the country, into companies that have already been here anyway. So it's not like you're going to, if you think these companies are coming in as solos, they're not. They're partnering with companies that are already here, or they're taking their operation that we've already been buying their product and they're going to bring it here and build it here. You can't lose. But there is some waves. There is some controversial waves that keep hitting the market. I mean, I was up 30-something%. I think right now I'm up about 14 or 12%.
This is a sentiment-driven sell-off. This is the best kind. All they're doing is what they always do. They shake out the weak hands. It happens every time. This is the
They
When
best
the
them
time.
market dips, you're supposed to buy anyway.
Well, and that, especially with these sentiment-driven sell-offs,
Right.
because there's no underlying, economic problem with the economy. All right.
So let me ask you, Falcon, if you were going to
Cannot
buy,
deny this AI investment. You can't.
if you were going to dump a bunch of money into a company tomorrow morning, who would it be?
It would be. I would split it up. I'd go Nvidia and Tesla.
Yeah. Okay. I got both. Too bad Snake wasn't still around.
Those are the two Da Vinci's of our time. Those are the guys you want. If nothing else, if you're not in anything else, bet on those two men because they're, 5 years ahead of everybody else.
Beyond 5 years, I think. I mean, the engineering prowess of Tesla and SpaceX is just stunning.
Well, Nvidia reported their quarterly earnings after the bell day is $65 billion in a quarter.
Really?
They upped their guidance for fourth quarter. All right, the stock.
Well, did you see the new tax laws?
7% after hours. So.
Did you see the new tax laws?
Yeah, it's incredible the write-offs you can do. You can buy all your roofing company stuff for your roofing now, 100% expensive, right? 100%.
Well, it is already, anyways. It's fully deductible. It's material, but he's talking about equipment that you're going to use long term.
Yeah, equipment. Yeah, I mean, it's
yeah. But I'm no longer in business. I'm technically over with.
Right. But it's going to mean for everybody we're talking to, they're going to pay less taxes this year. The average American family is going to pay.
Your single deduction is $16,000 something for an individual filer, and it's almost $30 for a married couple.
Yep, the average family.
Then your children's deduction.
12,500. That's what I read. 12,500.
Yeah. Then your deduction for each child is up this year, and you can actually withdraw from the stock market $49,474, no tax.
And your auto loans interest is deductible too, as long as it's made in America.
Yeah, as long as the vehicle's made in America. But most of these companies aren't charging interest, though, if you notice.
Yeah.
Well, that's because they probably can't sell cars.
Right.
Yeah.
I was watching videos on that a few months ago about how dealerships just can't sell cars right now.
Well, that's because they're over one of their inventory is high. And we just come out of a big recession, whether people want to call what Biden did to us or not.
It's not caught up yet. All right. Starting this tax season was everybody's going to see the difference. We've already seen the difference in fuel prices. All right. They're at a 6-year low. Right.
No, and look at that.
Not here.
Not here. I'm in California.
They're starting to go down though.
Well, you in Cali?
No, I'm in Washington.
Okay.
Yeah, same thing, different name.
I'm even worse, brother.
I'm in Ohio. So
what is gas down where you're at?
I think Washington had a higher average of gas a while ago. I don't keep that much time. I just drive over to Idaho because I'm 8 miles away to get gas.
I paid $5.69 for premium the other day.
Wow. Yeah, I think I pay $3.99 for premium, but I pay $3 and a penny or two for regular.
Regular for me went down to $3.30, I think.
Yeah, go look at my state gets 40 something cents a gallon tax.
We talked to a guy.
Oh, the difference between Washington and Idaho is insane. I literally drive 8 miles and save 80 cents.
We talked to a guy in Mobile
most of the time.
I talked to a guy in Mobile, Alabama. It was $2.09 regular.
Yeah. No, there's definitely things are starting to turn the other way when it comes to what things cost. There's no doubt about it.
Well, it's just that blue collar wages are up. They're going to be up next. Did you see the GDP that they released this afternoon?
What was it?
Revised 4.2%.
Yeah, for people that don't know, 4.2% of 30 trillion is a huge number.
That's $1 trillion. Every point's $1 trillion off the debt.
It's just insane. Yeah, you grow your way out of debt.
That's what he's going to do. It's every movie he's making is good. I hear this garbage. People talk about this Epstein and this fucking nonsensical shit, man.
Right.
Yeah. No press is given to the stuff that he's doing that's changing the fucking country.
Right.
No, you're right.
Well, they don't want him to, probably.
Of course they don't want him to. These criminals want
but they can come along too. They're going to come to the golden age too, whether they like it or not.
Right.
But then they won't profit as much unless they made some moves.
The golden age is going to mean different things to different people.
Well, even CNN is making a slight change to their broadcast.
All he's doing is he's trying to replace the pathway to the middle class. That's all he's doing. The rest is up to us.
Yeah. Well, what the hell? How's your wife, Falcon?
It's great, fantastic.
Oh, that's good.
Fantastic.
And who's still in that group?
All of us, we lost deputy, you know.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
When did he pass?
23.
Yeah, he was
Not
he
that
was
long
in his 80s, wasn't he?
78, I think. 78.
Yeah, he was a trip, that guy. And then we lost Snake even sooner than that. You guys would have liked Snake. That guy had a booming voice that made Rush Limbaugh sound like a girl. This dude's voice, just no matter what, he dominated the conversation.
He got to vote for Trump the first time around. That he died that following February.
Yep. And he ended up being a millionaire just after he passed, right?
Well, he bought Apple. He bought Apple when it was almost bankrupt for $10 a share.
Yeah. No, he was a good dude. I like that guy, Snake. He was a fucking trip to talk to, man.
But
fucking boomer.
Just a lot of shit happening. I mean, I've just never, like I said, I've never seen a period like this, you know.
No, when it comes to the country and its potential future, as long as people, but people aren't being, you know, it takes time, I think.
It takes time to build factories. He's onshoring. I mean, you see what's going on. Everything from Intel, you know, to Taiwan Semi in Arizona to, you know, LG and Samsung moving their total North American operation of
listen, Falcon. That semiconductor plant and the ones that they're building have a problem. They can't get purified sulfuric acid.
I watched them build.
They have to bring it in. Listen, they have to bring it in from overseas where they purify it. However,
they're bringing it in from Taiwan.
However, there's a company in America that's setting itself up to give the level of purity they need for their chemicals in the chip manufacturing onshore. I got the name in my investment portfolio. And I found it by watching investments by some of these
publicly traded. So it's a publicly traded company.
Yep, it's a publicly traded company. They've been there for a long time, but they're expanding their operations to accommodate the new chip manufacturers.
You gotta get this.
I think it's $38 a share or something right now.
What is it?
Man, I don't want to open up. I can, I guess.
All right.
Hang on.
I got MP Materials. The rare earth company has been really good. It's been a six-bagger.
But this is an interesting buy just because of where they are in the market. America does not purify sulfuric acid.
No, that's the peripheral stuff that people are making money on. Everything from that to even the aggregate it takes to build the roads and the foundations of those things. There's so many different ways to play it.
Listen, ICHR. Okay, I bought it like. It's way lower. It's $15.34 a share, and they're semiconductor and semiconductor equipment, but they're the ones that are going to refine the sulfuric acid to a 99.9% pureness.
What kind of volume did it have today? Did you tell?
Bid ass size. It's on here.
It should have volume, total volume.
660,000. Right. So it's not high volume.
No, that's not bad. No, that's respectable.
But it went up today 2.75%. Yeah. I'm starting to get back. I haven't lost it. I'll say this to people in the audience. I've never lost money in the market. In other words, losing money would mean withdrawing your holdings. My holdings have dropped below what I started with, but they always have come back and gone beyond. So, you know, the market is kind of an interesting thing. It's hard not to make money in the market. Well, you just have to be patient. Don't panic.
It always goes up, other than some odd years where there's a recession or, you know, something sudden hits like the banking crisis or, you know, whatever, you know, internet bubble. I mean, shit happens, you know, every 20 years or whatever, 10 years. Right. You take, you know, like COVID, you know, COVID was the fastest bounce back in history, though. But, you know, that's what I tell people, man. You don't have to, you know, be a market guru. Just, you know, if you don't have an IRA, make one and fund it with $2 or $3 grand a year. And in 40 years, you'll be an automatic millionaire.
Look at this. Someone argued with a Canadian about they're getting their fucking ass handed to them because Trump is right. Your charge is 400% tariff on cheese. What is Wisconsin named for? Cheese. So, you know, to sell your cheese in Canada, but they could sell it across our border with no tariff or some little tariff like what was in the No, he's doing the right thing. And Canadians, the other thing too is he's trying to chase the leftist government out of that country, right? Do you see that, Falcon?
Yeah.
Anywhere where there's a leftist government, Trump is not really going to go easy on you with tariffs. He's going to just keep burrowing in on you until your own people overthrow you.
I talked to some guys from three guys from Edmonton today. They're all in the Discord room at the same time, and that secession movement up there is pretty serious.
It's very serious in Alberta.
Yeah, in Alberta.
They want to become an independent country.
They got all the oil.
They got all the oil. That Canada would collapse if that happens. All these leftists with all their pet programs and their pet non-governmental donations they make, yeah, all over. Yeah, Alberta should succeed. And Trump ought to send some troops up there to secure it.
So Bitcoin reached a low of 88,483 today.
Do you own any Bitcoin?
I got a Bitcoin and a half.
Oh, there you go.
About 1.5. But as soon as NVIDIA reported, because this thing's tied, at the umbilical cord to the S&P, it has been all year. It's not every year, but this year it's been like,
Hey, see, my bedtime isn't any time near bed as long as you're on your way.
But it's up $4,000 since this afternoon. Now it's 90.
Yeah, they're saying it may take another drop into the 70s.
Good.
Yeah, but only if it breaks that trend line, and it really hasn't. Really, it kind of touched it. Because I got the chart in front of me. I got the same trend line
you do?
those guys on YouTube use.
You think it's wise to buy a coin or two?
I think it's wise to get in with whatever you're comfortable with.
Okay.
Whether it be $10 or 100,000.
What did you buy into, Falcon?
I got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and XRP.
Gotcha. I've heard of the Ethereum going up too.
There's still, there's still a lot of money being made on these meme coins and stuff. The guys on Reddit and all. I can't keep up with all that stuff, man.
Right.
I got the four horsemen, the guys with the big money. I mean, Elon Musk owns Bitcoin, right? Donald Trump owns Bitcoin. His kids have already made $7.5 billion of the crypto.
Of course.
But I'm just sticking with, I'm 68 years old, man. I can't fuck around with,
Right. Understood.
Look at that picture. You got like a horse head, for fuck's sakes.
I got to take a measured risk,
I should have bought Bitcoin when it was a nickel.
It's not too late, man. It's not too late. If you can hear this guy, Michael Saylor.
I've watched his videos.
Okay, know him. All right, enough said. But he said his algorithms, and I take this for whatever it's worth, by 2045, Bitcoin should be worth between 12 and 14 million.
Wow. Okay.
Damn. Can you imagine?
But just think about if I bought like $100 when they were a nickel each.
Well, we know a guy, Boxer. He had 8 coins. He bought for $10 a piece. Or, excuse me, 25 coins. He bought for $8 a piece.
What are they selling for now?
Top
yeah.
Boxer, right?
I know you're talking.
80,000.
25 coins for $8 a piece. He sold them for $25 a piece.
He did.
He tripled his money.
Right. What are they selling it right now for?
Fucking 88,000.
90 right now it's 92 and a half.
Jesus Christ.
No,
but just understand,
it would have been worth $2.5 million.
Let me explain something so you know. It's not the amount, it's the percentages you're trying to play.
Right.
So for instance, if you can't afford a full Bitcoin, don't worry about that. Buy what you can, but listen.
$5 worth.
But let's just say you could put up 500. If Bitcoin goes up 10%, you just made $50. Okay. That's what you're looking for in your investments. You're not looking for, you got to buy a whole Bitcoin to make a lot of money. Okay, yeah. But in order to get to a lot of money, you got to start with what you got. So you want to pay attention to the percentages you can gain. That's what's important. So you want to put your money with solid companies like Intel. I think Tesla is $400 something a share. I can't afford a share. Buy a couple $100 in Tesla. Tesla goes up 20%. So does your $200. That's why you got to look at the market. You can't look at it as just the big numbers.
Yeah. You can every now and then you can get a home run, but doubles and singles. It's a game of doubles.
Yeah, and it's all about percentages, and of course, the more you got, the more you can make. But also, it goes the other way. Like I said, I dropped down $38,000 earlier in the year below what I put in. So let's say I had $100, right? I lost 38. If I had pulled my money out, I would have lost it. but it dropped 38%. But then all of that came back and another 20-something% on top of that. So the whole thing is it's going to keep moving up and down. There's nothing you could do about that, but don't run away because you think, Tesla. You know who I was going to buy and I didn't buy, and this is the one investment that I'll always hate myself for. Carvana went down to $3 a share.
Yeah,
Oh.
everybody thought they're going to go bankrupt, man. They were counting there. Yeah, I know. I watched it happen, man.
It's a left-wing company. They weren't going to go bankrupt. They were backed by all kinds of companies in Europe too.
Went from 3 to 300.
No, to almost 387.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's fucking. I was going to buy $3,000, 3,000 shares at $3. It'd been $9,000.
Yeah.
And I, you know what? It's not that I got afraid. It was that I was having chaos at work and different things with this broad, and I just let it slip.
Well, we all have stories like that where we miss
That's
stuff
crazy.
in life, right? For one reason or another, we just miss opportunities.
Why didn't you buy it when it was $5 then?
I stopped paying attention to the market. Okay.
Yeah, we all get those, but now you have an opportunity because you can see what's coming. It's clearly in front of you.
Right.
We're only in the first half inning in this AI deal. All right. We're going to be talking about Tesla Optimus robots this time next year.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about autonomous driving, robo-taxis. He's pumping them out now. He's going to be building a million of those things a year, and there's so much going on right now. The Golden Dome, they're doing it. They're in the middle of making it right now. They're making it. All the
Golden Dome,
all the defense stocks are smoking. They're smoking. They're changing the way warfare is being conducted. The drone companies, Lockheed has got a full-size fighter jet that'll go Mach 10 and pull 20 Gs without a pilot.
Narrative warfare. Gotta love it.
And here's the other thing Trump is doing, though. He's reshaping the groundwork of your war fighting industries without them having to fight a war.
He's reshaping the world economy, the fucking world, the way we conduct war. They're going to be talking about this guy 1,000 fucking years from now, man.
Yeah, I guarantee
there's the age of fucking Caesar and the age of, this is the age of Trump. And
it'll be remembered. We in history may not appreciate it if we're not like interested in history, but he's absolutely right. Whether you like the guy or not shouldn't even be a part of it. You should pay attention to what's really happening in the world. And the fact that he ended 8 wars with just trade. I was saying that in Skype assholes back in the years. We never needed to have a bolt to hold anybody accountable. Just shut down their economy by blocking them.
That's what you said.
Right? And now who's doing it? Trump.
Yep.
We don't need fucking nuclear weapons to threaten somebody. You just stop buying their products. Fuck you.
That's how we got those monkeys in Malaysia to stop fighting, man. He says, "You want to trade with us? You got to stop this war. Otherwise, we're not
Pakistan and India.
As long as you're at war, you're not reliable partners, and so we're not going to trade with you at all. And your economy's going to collapse. So stop the war and let's make some money."
Yeah, no, he's
that
really
simple. It's just that simple.
And that's always been the power of America. And it should have been lead by example. And the example is, if you want to be murderous, criminal fucks and fight each other, you have nothing to do with us.
You had to like him.
Good luck.
You had to like him dancing on the tarmac in Malaysia. You had to like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like pure world joy.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, he's not doing. A lot of people think, oh, he's enriching his family. Well, that's just completely untrue. The family is smart enough to see what these changes are doing.
Those kids are enriching themselves, man.
Yeah, they got nothing.
All right, they're not making money off their father. They're making money off the technology that we're talking about.
Bingo.
Right, and they're not smoking crack and hooking up with hookers.
They're not on Discord, with one hand down their pants, the other hand on their fucking Xbox controller.
Right.
What do you think the odds are that they don't have some inside information, though?
They don't need it.
They don't need it.
You don't need it, man. If you
doesn't matter. What are the odds that they don't have it?
It's all
100%.
inside information. We're privy to all this. He's got cameras in the cabinet meetings.
Yeah.
Wow.
No president has ever done that either.
Nobody. It's the most transparent presidency in world history.
He don't hide nothing he don't not answer questions. And I don't know. That's what I mean. I saying that earlier. And a lot of people don't like the guy. And I think it's just got nothing to do with likes or not likes.
You can hate him.
Fuck your feelings, man.
You can hate his golden toilet. You can hate the fuck out of him. But don't hate yourself.
Yeah.
Because what
Yeah,
he's
yeah, yeah.
doing is going to benefit you if you just open up your heart and let it.
Yeah. Yeah. And do what's best for yourself. Make decisions. And as things change, as times start to change, you got to change with them because they're all good changes. There really is not a single policy that he's enacted or talked about that hurts America. Not one. And everybody's arguing tariffs are going to make you pay more for products. Well, that pan turned out to be a fucking false.
Nothing's
Listen,
up. Everything's down.
Everything was being made in China for $1.60 an hour, and they're coming here and selling a phone for $1,200 fucking dollars.
I got two products. I got two products that have like doubled in the last few weeks.
What?
Only thing is
RAM,
DRAM memory.
RAM and hard drives.
Thing.
Yeah.
You know, okay.
What's up with that?
Well, because they're needed in that fucking those AI data centers. There's a hot demand for them. All right. Yep. Micron's got a 3-year backlog on that stuff. All right. They reached an all-time high the other day.
Hey, you know that I'm still running the same computer I was running in 2010?
Oh, you should see my new computer I built. Well, it's 2 years old now. This motherfucker is a smoker, man.
This thing it's still a 4-core AMD.
Yeah.
I replaced the power supply, an 850-watt power supply, and that's it.
So you can't leave pictures in this room.
What do you? Yeah, I don't know if you can or not. I don't know how this works completely. Dago's the expert on that.
Get on Discord, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's you can share pictures.
The battle is on Discord. If you want to, and it's a formidable task, but if you want to try and change some young minds full of mush, try at your own peril, because they're fucked in the head, man. They're really hard. They're really, really difficult to do it. But you can do it, Riffer.
You got rooms like this?
No, there's only ours, only Skype assholes. The rest of them are, they're 20 to 30 years old, and they're fucking hard to get through to, man.
Well, Charlie Kirk turned a lot of them.
I know, but those guys, I don't know. These Discord kids are, oh boy, I don't know, man. They're almost gone, man.
They're like that potato in the screen.
Yeah,
a bit twizzed up.
Yeah, they're not coming to the golden age with us, I'm afraid.
Twiz, how old are you?
38.
Because you sound 15.
That's a good age.
I turned 39 in like 40 days.
If I had an age to stay all my life, I think it'd be 40.
Yeah, I agree with it. I agree.
It's hard, you got money, and your body's still good.
Not only that, but you know there's more to come, and you're going to look for ways to get it done.
You got more money, you got more brains, and your body's still pretty.
You have foresight, something you didn't have when you were young.
Yep, and you got something to lose, so it makes you think clearer. It makes you think clearer.
You know something? I'm glad you said that. That's the exact reason why I retired. For people that didn't know, I own a very successful roofing company, and all we did was roofing, and I've done it for 32 years. And the reason I got out now is because you play the odds and you win. You got to know when to fucking fold. And it was time for me to fold. I've had, knock on wood, no injuries, no damage, no lawsuits, no lingering warranty, nothing. Did a great job for 32 years, but I'm 60. Ain't no way I'm going to hang out in this trade because it could cause me to have to start my whole life over. One fucking misstep. So it was time to stop. That's the reason I retired. That, and I have the money to afford to do it. But by being smart, as I worked all of those years, right? So I don't need the liability against my assets. I just don't need it anymore. Don't want it.
Well, I just turned 68 in October, and like,
fuck, man. I've known you for how long?
I don't know, probably 15 years, more than that. Maybe
10 years, back to
2017, something like that.
2015, 2014, 15, something like that. 10 years.
No, it was before that, man. It was like
before Trump was elected.
It was like
before he even ran.
Nah, it was like 2010.
Yeah.
Skype assholes, folks. That's the community was insane. We were a bunch
of Sarge, I gotta head out, sir. I'm about to fall out, and
see you later, kid. Nice.
Good night, Dago.
I booted him. That's what I do. I just boot people. The button.
I like what Trump said the other day. The fucking drug cartels. We know where every one of your front doors is.
He said what?
We know where all your front doors are.
Who was he saying that to?
To the cartels, the drug lords.
Yeah, that's the thing. The news agency. How do you know these guys are moving drugs? He goes, because we watch them from the point from the facility where they make it to where they bring it to the boat.
He says we know where they're making it. We know where the drug lords. We know where their front doors are.
Dude, that's what I've been saying for years. I'm like, if they wanted to stop the drug war, they could.
Well, you saw what happened in Mexico City the other day. They're fucking marching on the palace, man. They're getting. Everybody knows Shine Bomb's the fucking head of all the cartels, and they're marching on the palace. There was, whatever, 100,000 people out there, right? They were smoking them out. The cops were smoking them. They're pissed, man. It's a narco-driven country. Every time somebody steps forward to challenge the cartels, they end up with their fucking, hanging from a bridge in Acapulco, disemboweled, right?
So,
Yeah.
Someone 17 just asked the question, and I want to answer them. My advice to you is to take 10% of your income and put it in a interest-bearing account, whether it be a high-yield savings account or the market, and do that all the time. With every pay period, take 10% and put it away and don't touch it. And you will not work until you're 60 years old if you start to adhere to that. So if you get paid on Friday $650, 65 of that goes into an account that you don't touch. And you let that account compound in interest. So you can get CDs, you can get, I think savings accounts, some of them are almost 5%. Or you can put your money in the market, start buying Tesla stock, start buying the big
you just want to buy the S&P.
NVIDIA.
You want to buy the index. You want to buy the whole index, the S&P 500.
Yeah. Start investing that way,
S&P.
and you'll be fine. By the time you're 35 years old, you should be able to stop working.
Just get down to your bank, and they'll set it all up for you.
There you go. Yeah.
You don't have to do a thing. Just take a Saturday morning, talk to your investment counselor at your bank, and they'll set it all up. They pay people a lot of money to do that just for those people to help them out. They want your money.
What do you think about what Trump told the president of Nigeria? Stop killing Christians.
Yeah, right. We're going to kill you. We know where your front door is, too.
How about when he brought that one African leader into the Oval Office?
Yeah.
And he played that monitor.
He played that film.
Of his fucking troops killing citizens.
Kill the boar. Kill the boar.
Yeah. He's like, you can't keep doing that's got to stop now. Wheeler, the guy didn't have an answer. The guy was, holy fuck.
Dim the lights, please.
Dim the lights, please. Yeah. Everybody look at the monitor.
It's never going to be another one like him, man. They got that spot on Rushmore, and I swear to God, they better put his ass there, man.
That's fucking funny.
He's the most consequential president. He came at a time when the USS America was about ready to go over the waterfall.
Yeah, we were done. We were done. All the cartels, all the criminals, all the corrupt, all the fucking haters, they were in control.
And if you look at that, you'll say that he's the most consequential president probably since certainly Abraham Lincoln, but probably George Washington as well.
Yeah, what did George Washington do? He fought the war, right? And then he
father of our country, right? Yeah.
His big contribution was that he wouldn't be a king. That was his contribution. The most major thing he did was turn the presidency into a term fucking limit. Right?
Trump's talking term limits too. You heard him the other day. He's talking term limits big time.
And they need to be done.
For what? The Senate
6 years,
and Congress?
6 years for Congress, 12 years for Senate.
Yeah. They also need to find a way to get some of this money out, and I think that should be through a fucking tax. I think everybody should pay a penny tax on everything they buy, and that money should be collected and only used for fucking political campaigns after individuals pay their own money for the primary. In other words, if you want to be a politician, you could join a primary and you can have the debates and put your fucking signs out. But once the population picks which one of you are going to be a congressman for the Democrat, for the Republican, for the independent, that position now gets funded publicly, not corporately, not individually. Make it a tax, not a poll tax to stop voting, but a tax that would be a pool of money the president candidates get to use, the Senate candidates get to use, and no other money can be contributed except their own personal financial wealth. If even that needs to be limited, so that the race can be fair, right? So you take the average of what did Schumer spend and others to get elected? Well, 160,000. Then this campaign, this race gets 320,000, 160 each. Go do your fucking business. I think that would be a quick way to stop all the corruption.
Yeah, those term limits are going to fix a lot of problems.
Well, they're just like Nancy Pelosi. Her fucking nephew is running your state. Yeah. Right? She's going to retire. You think the person who replaces her is going to be any better than her? It's going to be whoever she wants her picks.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that's good for you. I mean, there's only one state worse than New York, and that's fucking California.
Yeah, my state's a piece of my state.
I know, but mine's, I think, worse, man. Mine's worse. Because mine is a supermajority Democrat state. We only got 5 congressional seats, even though 43% of us voted for Trump.
Yep.
And the leader of our state Senate, the leader is a bona fide, crotchless chap, San Francisco pedophile by the name of Scott Wiener.
Is he Anthony Weiner's fucking cousin?
He wants Pelosi's seat.
Yeah, okay. And you guys aren't going to have a say in it.
Yeah, we don't have a say in it because they got a pool. They got about a pool of about 2.5 million fraudulent votes that they keep bringing out every election since 2018.
It's all that motor voter bullshit.
Yep, and they're using the same ones every single time. That's why
that needs to be outlawed. There should be no fucking motor voter right. You want to vote, you got to register independently and provide your ID. Otherwise, no, you shouldn't be allowed to vote. He's doing that too. He's got to get all that shit done before he leaves in 4 years. Then JD Vance can just steer the ship, just slight course adjustments.
It's gonna be all right, and I tell you, I was never a big fan of Rubio up until he became Secretary of State.
He was tied to that fucking cartel though, where he was selling real estate to it. That's how he got rich. Remember they had a hit on him, and he had to have fucking Secret Service protect him.
He's become a very strong fucking mega voice, man.
Well,
what happened at midterms?
I don't like Rubio. I don't trust Rubio.
We need this economy. We need the needle of this economy to move prior to those midterms. Right now, they're talking about the tariff rebate to all of us, $2,000 to $3,000, sometime before the midterms. It's not going to be this year.
No, and he shouldn't do it. He should do it right before people go to vote, and then everybody can argue he's trying to buy your vote. Good for him.
Yeah.
And he's taking money from foreign countries and he's making it legal and giving it to you.
Well, by then we'll have a tax cycle over, and people are going to see their tax liability significantly reduced. Right. And the fuel prices are going to stay down. Inflation's coming down. There's at least 2 interest rate cuts next year. There's one December, at least 2 to 3 more next year. Right. The housing market's going to be a lot more accessible. Right. And the
you don't got a house 25 million fucks.
Well, it took Reagan. You remember, okay? I remember Reagan. He's the first president I voted for. Coming out of the Carter years, all right, the malaise of the Carter years. There was talk about inflation. There's like 21% inflation and virtually zero GDP. We had gas lines. We had hostages in Iran. It took Reagan 2 years, and all of a sudden we had a 6.8% GDP. And the middle class was growing faster than any time in our history. It's going to be the same exact thing with Trump, except it's going to happen a little quicker because it's in Trump time.
It's Trump time. Yeah, he does move he's moving like I wished he'd have done this in the first term.
He didn't have the team. He didn't have the cabinet around.
No, but everybody was against him. They were all going to keep everything in place and give him his 4 years and throw him out like they did.
Yep.
I don't think anybody expected he was going to come back and win. To be honest with you, I didn't think it'd make any difference if he won or not, but he's impressed me the last 10 months.
Well, I knew the difference between him and the dork sucking San Francisco dothead was going to be vast. All right, there's no way she can negotiate these kind of deals, man. They don't have any.
She wouldn't even be thinking about it.
You think the Saudis and the Qataris and the Emiratis are going to respect that fucking bitch?
She wouldn't even visit them. She'd be over here telling you your son's a girl.
Yeah, she'd be waving in another 20 million fucking illegals by now.
Or more than that. She probably doubled down. She was the border czar. No, I wasn't. You stupid bitch. It was all over the news. Of course you were.
I mean, my God, man. Whoever voted for her is fucked in the head. They got to just...
She's an alcoholic, bro. I mean, the fact that she did what she did being an alcoholic is kind of impressive. She's a devout alcoholic. I mean, there's no other fucking higher power for her than a fucking alcoholic.
It's so ridiculous, man. Just to give that thing a fucking promotion after what they did. Who is 20 million people in your country with 1 million known criminals?
Worse than that. Look at how can you be a Democrat when they told you to your face Hillary Clinton is the nomination because the superdelegates didn't want Bernie? The preferred candidate was Bernie in 2015, and they took and gave it to Hillary. And then Biden drops out, and they pick fucking her. You didn't vote for her. Nobody voted for her.
Nope.
Right? As a matter of fact, when she tried to run for the
not one vote.
Not one vote. And so here you're part of a party that's telling us Trump is a king when your entire party is based on kings.
It's so frustrating. You can't. That's why you can't talk to these people. They're
No.
irrational. They're irrational. I've given up on them.
It's about feelings. That's what it is. You can't really. They believe things because they feel this way or that way.
It's crazy.
Fuck your feelings. Nobody wants to hear that fucking shit.
It's irrational. It's like a death wish. I mean, they're living in boarded up fucking shithole cities with homeless fentanyl zombies running all over the fucking place, right? Our cities are 100 years old with 40% vacancy rates in the offices, and fucking businesses boarded up, and
And how did that happen? The funny thing is now New York, nobody learns their lesson because you know what? This is the problem with a Republican. They don't know how to campaign.
What do you think of this Mondami? Look what they did. That's the kind of people we're dealing with, man.
Because they think that they can take from business to give to themselves, the coveters of the world. They want to covet their fucking wealth from others. They don't want to work for it.
Darlings that voted for him. It's crazy.
Because these kids think that they're entitled. They've been taught that these things should be all equal. Nobody should have more than the next guy. So we can all be fucking living in fucking tarp tents, right? Covering broken down boxes.
So brainwashed, man. I mean, we're living in
that's
the
your
information
educational
age,
system.
right? We're living in the information age, right? It's
yeah, but you lock yourself in because of belief. People believe something, and that's the mortal sin of mankind. We believe in information. We believe in data rather than taking the data and trying to make heads or tails of it. There's no thinking involved anymore. It's about belief and how you feel. They don't know that the earth is fucking warming or not. They just feel like the oil companies are bad. But meanwhile, you're plugging your fucking laptop into an electrical outlet. Dumb fucks. Yeah, we live in a very, very, but I think 4 years of Trump is going to wake up enough people that those people eventually either just die because they're weak or they'll.
Some people are going to see it like we see it. Even if they don't see it now, they're going to see that pathway that he is laying down.
Right.
All right.
And they bought that computer from the richest company on the planet.
And I mean, they're going to, what he's doing is going to pay dividends to Americans for years after he's gone. Years, decades. All right. These trade deals are going,
But he has to crush the criminal class that are in too many places across this fucking country. In every state, every community, you got some cocksucker. Like I got a mall up here. It's like 2 million square fucking feet. And the company that owned it got behind in property taxes to the tune of 2.6 million. So they confiscated the fucking property, right? And put it up for auction. Well, based on everything we know, they're looking to get their 2.6 million back at auction, right? Right? 2 million square feet. Okay. You're waiting for someone with big pockets to come buy this fucking mall. This thing is massive. Beautiful property. Prime fucking location. They sold it to a fucking retired board member for $54,000. Then they made an agreement to move their fucking town offices into that mall and pay for the renovations and upgrades that needed to accommodate the offices. And nobody made a noise about that. I wanted a couple of radio shows and said, what are people are you just so happy that you got corrupt criminals running your fucking government that's a win? That's a win. This guy bought fucking 2 million square feet for $54,000 fucking dollars, who happened to be a board member that retired. And then he just retired. And then he comes in and buys this. Meanwhile, they ran this campaign about how much was owed and why you were confiscating it, scaring all potential buyers away. And he was the only one that made a bid. What the fuck, Falcon? Yeah. If I could have bought that for 54, even 100, 250, I'd have bought it in a minute. But then he's got the agreement. The whole town invested all of their fucking money and resources to rehab that fucking that parts of that mall, big parts of that mall.
Why didn't you put a bid in?
Because I was under the assumption, like everybody else, that 2.6 million was the starting bid. That's what they do when they confiscate real estate. When they repo it under taxes, it's to reclaim the tax debt. That's what they do. Nobody expected that to happen. That's serious fucking corruption. It doesn't get talked about. But I'm in New York, so people seem to be comfortable with corruption. As long as, they can buy their fucking food, they're fine.
Trump's.
I thought it was funny how after that mayor election, they're all like, everyone who said they're going to leave better leave, but like they're the ones saying they're going to leave the country when Trump left or got elected.
Yeah, but the guys in New York that are leaving are the fucking rich.
Yeah,
They
for sure.
literally will pick up, and they've already started to move out of there. Right? I mean, he's already going after Starbucks.
Well, he's not going to be able to do any of that. He's not going to be able to get free transit. You turn those buses into a homeless camp on wheels.
Right.
Coach already shut him down. That's evil bitch. Second worst governor in America.
Yeah, if not maybe the first.
Neck and neck.
I was waiting for Canada to turn off the electricity to New York. Right. I was hoping they would do that. I'm like, yeah, do it. Teach New Yorkers just how fucking ignorant their leadership is. You shut down the fucking plants in this state, put up windmills and solar farms, right? But the truth is you're really buying the electricity overseas, essentially, across the border. You're not getting it from them windmills and solar fucking farms as you think you are.
No.
That's why I wish that motherfucker would have shut it off. Then I think it would have woke a lot of New Yorkers up. But nope.
He's a pissant compared to Trump. Trump wouldn't let him do that. He would just choke him off.
Well, but still, it would have been nice if the guy did it.
200. Well, wasn't that what Trump said? 200% tariffs if he does that, right? I think that's what Trump said.
Yeah, but again, it would have been good for my state and as much as people like me that might start to get heard. I mean, you got solar farms, and one of the biggest things on a solar farm is a diesel generator. Why? Because when the clouds cover the solar fucking panels, the generator supplies the electricity that's no longer there. What the fuck, bro? Oh man! So you're basically running the country on the state on diesel generators,
right?
And Canadian fucking electricity. Ay, what a fucking joke! All right, I'm going to shut this thing down. It's late.
Well, Trump's mission is to narrow this wealth disparity in this country. Everybody sees it. Everybody knows it. There's too much money in too few hands. And we have to bring back opportunity, and we have to grow this fucking the middle class from the bottom up. And that's all the moves he's making are designed to do that.
Well, let's hope so, because freedom comes in the hands of small business, not big corporations.
I talked to a painter up in Northern Cal, man, because of that. He's writing off 100% of his equipment this year. He's able to hire 3 more people.
Really?
Yep.
Good for him.
So this is going to domino over the course of the next couple of years, and we're all going to do really well. It is the golden age. All right, kid.
All right. Stay out of trouble.
Roger that. When do you come on here?
It's the first time I've been on it. Months and months.
Well, whatever. I sent you a link to the Discord.
I got it. I got it pulled up on StreamYard.
All right.
Later, boys.
See you, man.
There we go. That was a show. All right, folks. It's good seeing all of you out there. We gave Carl his fix. Carl needed a fix. And everybody in between. I hope you all have a good evening. I'm going to sign off. And, I'll be back. I shall return. Oh, wait. There it is. Discord. All right. All right, folks. Thanks for showing up.